guy, Connor Roofing. You can count on Connor for all your roofing needs. Visit ConnorRoofing.com. That's CONNER Roofing.com. Vic Porcelli.
Come on, you're Italian. You understand.
Every day is a busy day all of a sudden.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
Tough and smart, and I love Italian, so, he's definitely Italian.
At least I have this show to come and talk about it and let some stuff up.
What kind of a show are you guys putting on here today?
The Vic Porcelli Show.
Good morning, freedom fighters. Good morning, Kenny.
Good morning, Vic Porcelli.
How are you, baby?
I'm good, man.
All right, Kataline coming up in just a sec. A little levity today.
We need a little levity.
We need a little levity today. Nate Lucas from the office of Eric Burlison, U.S. Representative. Nate's the communications director. Porcelli's Deli today, Ken. This week, it's actually next Monday, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't know whether to do it 4 days after the anniversary or a few days before the anniversary. But the 8th is the day that John Lennon was shot in front of the Dakota in 1980.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to not only talk about that, but how I found out about it, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
It was a weird way to find out about something so tragic.
Right.
Then Louie Gohmert, former U.S. representative, talking about Arctic frost and Jack Smith. And or Jack Frost Smith. Did you write that?
Yeah.
He's a scumbag. And I said it from the beginning. Did I not? I said, I don't like his face. First thing I said.
Oh, yeah. And Louie Gohmert, my goodness, he's that name. I remember that I would hear it and I would think the same way I do now, like about Jim Jordan. If you hear somebody or John Kennedy.
That's exactly
You know what I mean?
He's John Kennedy before John Kennedy.
Right.
Yeah.
Not as theatrical as John Kennedy.
No,
but
same kind of cynical outlook on everything.
Yeah.
And Nils Grevillius today too?
Yes.
Wow. He's always a hoot, that guy. Okay, Ken, who is doing the Pledge of Allegiance for us today?
Well, we talked about her yesterday, Vic. Your lovely wife.
Oh, did we talk about her?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, baby. Slow.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Slow down, baby. Slow down. And just very quickly, we do the chat box yesterday like we do every day. And Cinderfer woman in the chat box.
Right.
She said, Vic, baby, how you doing?
She wrote, Vic, baby, how you doing?
No, she didn't. She wrote, hey, Vic, baby. And she goes, I had to pull over because I wanted to say how sexy your beard was, but I'm afraid of your wife. I thought that was hysterical.
Yeah.
All right, listen, some big news I'm going to talk about just very quickly, and then we'll get to Karen, and then we'll talk about this probably later too. Thursday morning, this morning, multiple sources are reporting that a Virginia man has been arrested for placing pipe bombs outside the headquarters of the RNC and DNC on January 5th of 2021. And it's not the person who had an exact DNA match for a Capitol police officer. Do you remember that story? Did I make that up?
No, you didn't make it up, but they want you to think you did. It's exact. I don't get it. You have DNA on a pipe bomb of a Capitol police officer, by the way, which, the argument is, well, they could be involved in some way. Oh, no longer. We've got the guy.
And we don't know his name.
Right.
It's just a guy from Virginia.
Some guy.
And Susan Crabtree writes, big news from the FBI this morning. The J6 pipe bomb suspect arrested is a man, so it appears, to undermine earlier reports of a woman Capitol police officer being the perpetrator. So she heard it too.
Yeah.
All right, that's enough. Let's go.
The one and only Karen Kataline.
Did you know that I'm married to a trucker? I feel like using a Yiddish word, famished. Spoiling in front of my computer, I am. They're just too dumb to lie. He has the effect of 6 shots of scotch.
A couple takes their daughter to the Central Park Zoo to see the lion. She's so excited. She's reaching through the bars, and she's so small, she falls in the lion enclosure. Parents are freaking out. A guy who's passing by jumps over the fence, goes in, beats off the lion with a punch to the face, grabs the girl, sends her over the fence, and climbs back over. Another guy who's watching all this walks up to this man and says, "You are a hero. I'm a reporter for the New York Times. Where did you learn to fight like that?" He says, "In the IDF." Next day, there's a headline. Israeli soldier assaults lion in Central Park Zoo and steals its lunch.
If it wasn't true, I guess it wouldn't be funny, right?
I'm laughing, but it's so sad. It's sad and funny.
And you know that guy? That's your Guns N' Moses guy, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Let me tell you, if you go,
yes, he's wonderful.
If you go through his Facebook thing,
yeah,
it's like the world's best Jewish joke. Wait, here's the world's best Jewish joke. There's like 100 world's best Jewish jokes. And I was up on the air between that one and a different one. I picked that one. I don't know. How you doing?
Were you able to have him on the radio? Because he's great. He's a great interview too.
Ken?
Sal.
We'll have to get him.
Okay.
Sal Litvak.
What's his name?
Sal Litvak.
Yeah, we scheduled him, Karen, but then he had to cancel a couple times.
Yeah,
so I was like,
we should let you have him so you can interview him. I interview him all the time. For some reason, he's available when I do Alan Nathan also.
Well, I mean, you got the in. You're a Jew. You got the in, right?
Hey,
he's
come
not,
on.
He's not going to talk.
We're not the mafia or something.
I was just going to say, he's not going to talk to an Italian. I'm glad you brought up the mafia. Can I tell you why?
Good. Why?
Because this double tap story, right? When we got the drug boat, and then there were two guys alive, then we finished them off, and a congressman, a Democrat congressman named Jack Reed says, drug smugglers bringing illegal narcotics into the U.S., they're not narco-terrorists. They're just trying to make money.
Mm-hmm. They were fishermen.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
just fishing.
Where were their fishing tackle, I'd like to know.
Under this
they were
theory,
fishing for trouble.
Under this theory, I should say, hey, mafia hitmen, they're only trying to make money.
Make money
they're
for their
just
families.
trying to make a living.
They're trying to feed their families, Karen.
We're laughing, but I mean, leave it to me to get serious. But honestly, this just absolutely makes my head explode that out in the open, you know how the left always says openly gay, openly.
Yeah.
They are openly against America.
Yeah, they are.
Against law and order, openly cheering criminals, drug dealers, terrorists. I've never seen anything like it. I know I've said this before, but if my dear parents, who are now no longer with us, lived to see this, they wouldn't believe it, that there are people openly cheering for the demise and destruction of America through criminality and terrorism and sloth. And it just, it makes a talk show host type person speechless.
Like me and you.
Like us. Like us. And Ken, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ken's been coming out with guns blazing lately. I'll tell you that much.
I love it. Don't you love it?
Oh, man. I tell you what.
It is so much fun. I would say it's so much.
So Ken,
and I mean this. He is so much fun to work with. He makes it so much easier.
All right,
thank you.
Hold on. He's not that good. All right. He's all right.
Very lucky to have him.
Nothing great.
He does so many things.
I know.
He does so much stuff.
So here's a funny thing about the aforementioned Kenneth James Williams. He said, Vic, I don't hate anybody. I don't hate it. People.
I can't hate it. I said I can't hate anybody.
Because I hate people. You know what I mean? There are times I go through a day and say, I hate people. And then he says to me the other day, I looked it up and I abhor people or I detest people. Or
well, here, I looked up the definition. I thought, maybe I should come clean. And I said, I looked up hates, and so yesterday, Vic and I were on the air talking, and I said, I just decided I do hate people. I loathe people. I detest people. There are things that people do I detest. So I guess I hate.
I'm so glad you came clean.
I did.
I
did. It's a cleansing.
Because it's absolutely okay to hate injustice, to hate lies, to hate deceit, to hate the harming of innocent people. If you can't hate that, then you don't got no morals.
Exactly right.
And the difference is we hate people who suck, right?
Right.
And people who hate Jews are hating Jews just because they're Jews, not because they suck.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Well, in some cases, everybody has people in their group that sucks. But,
right.
Last time I checked, and I know I've said this, we're not supposed to identify an entire group of people and hate them because of the group to which they belong. But somehow, certain groups, they do that anyway. I don't know why, but they do.
Yeah.
I was going to say the three of us, and I think a lot of your listeners, just don't suffer fools gladly. They're not gullible. and they don't just believe what people tell them, even if it's Vic Porcelli or Ken or anyone else. They don't suffer fools gladly. And it's amazing the people who just gullibly go along with whatever is the latest stupidity. Oh yeah, there's 57 genders. Heinz 57. Yeah, we're so much better off today knowing that there are Heinz 57 genders than there used to be.
Well, Karen,
it's crazy.
We're conservatives are generally, and Vic Heads, I'm including everyone in this, are cynical. We are,
yes,
and for good reason too. Today, I mean, Vic and I were just
Yes.
talking about this. How growing up, I never would have imagined that our government would do anything like that people were accusing them of. But today,
Correct.
I'm like, oh my goodness, look at this. Look at this government. Potentially, they could have done every single thing that I grew up thinking that they wouldn't do.
Yeah, yeah. And then there is another pitfall that I've seen with younger skulls full of mush who are intellectually lazy by saying that, well, if they're politicians, I hate them all. And that is a different kind of cynicism that justifies intellectual laziness.
Right.
If you can't look into what they actually said that made you not like them, then you're falling for the same kind of bigotry. I mean, granted, politicians, their stock isn't any higher than used car salesmen. However, there are notable exceptions of people who've took the heat. They stood up against evil and against lies. If I may, I just posted a marvelous thing by Blake Neff.
Yeah,
Did you happen to see this?
I sure did.
I just posted it, and I'm so glad when people do that. Blake Neff is, I guess, the executive producer of the Charlie Kirk Show, and he gives about a 7-minute rebuttal, I guess, of the horrific, despicable, low-life lies that Candace Owens has been telling about everybody at TPUSA. And he said that we just keep getting people for the last 3 months telling us we have to answer to it. And then he tells you why he didn't answer until now. He tells you why he's decided to. And it's great. I think we have to address these things, nor do we do it without care.
Mhm.
They do it with care. So good on them.
Yeah, good
on
on
them.
So
Yeah.
getting back to hating people, I hate people. But at least I have a barometer. Okay. So here, Jack Smith, perfect example. When I
Yes.
first saw Jack Smith, I said, Ken, I don't like his face.
Yep.
And that's my barometer. If I don't like your face, that's a good barometer on whether you're on your character. You know, guy that used to work here, I said, I don't like his face. I was right about him.
Yeah.
There was a guy I worked with years ago. He was a sales guy, didn't like his face. I was right about him. So it's a good Italian New Jersey
See, I
barometer.
would want to take issue with that, because these are things, for the most part, that people don't have any control over. You know, when they're born, I mean, unless you're saying that there's something in his eye or something like that, but look at the number of people who looked socially acceptable. That mass murderer who was a pretty boy mass murderer, nobody ever thought that he would murder numerous women,
Talking about Ted
rape
Bundy?
and murder them. Yeah, Bundy
Mhm.
is a perfect example. They don't all look like Charles Manson,
Right.
you know?
But Jack Smith, I mean, I've never seen him smile. Never.
Karen,
You know?
you used, I think, Karen, you just hit on it that Vic didn't verbalize it like that, but he sees things in people's facial expressions, their eyes, their reactions to things.
It's a poker thing.
Yes, it's
Oh,
something
that's a very different thing.
Yeah.
That's you know, we all watch press conferences and what have you, and you do such a great job of featuring the press secretaries of presidents,
Yep.
like Leavitt and before.
Yeah.
And all you got to do is watch them and the way they answer. And
Yes.
now that's a whole different thing, because you're looking beyond the superficial.
Yes.
What I have a problem with is people who are highly superficial. And if I dare say a superficial thing, I think the left is obsessed with superficiality, with appearances,
Oh, there's no
with
doubt.
putting on shows, with making it look as if they like men when they detest men, stuff like that.
Another thing I want to throw in here very quickly before we run out of time, Karen, is the LGBTQ community. I mean, what exactly are they telling us? I really don't care who you sleep with, because that's all they're saying.
Yeah.
If you're gay, lesbian, whatever,
Don't care.
all you're doing is saying, I sleep with the same sex as what I am. And I don't think that's important in anybody's life.
Well, except that they've bought into this idea that the label that they put on themselves makes them an automatic victim.
Yes.
That's what they're really
That's what-
playing up.
Yes.
I had a great meme that I didn't post because I didn't want to overwhelm you.
I had a
and
great
have it-
meme. You guys can't see it though.
Yeah, I'm gonna post it when I get done. Is it LGBT? The person said LGBT people should be killed, and I hate women, and women should be subjugated to men. And the liberal says, you are a Republican, evil, rotten person.
Yeah.
He said, I'm Muslim. She says, I'm so sorry I showed my Islamophobia.
Oh, so funny.
Wow.
Well,
So it's acceptable. It's okay then.
The women
Yeah.
and the gays who are for Palestine and for this Mamdani guy in New York, wait till they got to wear burqas.
Well, Vic and Karen, they're calling these people, the LGBTQIA plus people, and the women primarily, saying they're useful idiots. We are using them as tools, as we do the word Islamophobe.
Absolutely useful idiots. And the sad part is that by the time the useful idiots get a clue, if they ever do, it's much, much too late.
Yep.
It requires people like you and us, the cynics, the Vic Heads, to stand up and say, word.
I love that you used the Vic Heads.
I know.
Yeah.
All right. So just two very, very quick things before we go. First of all, I hear you're doing the show again on the 30th. Is that true?
Yes.
Watch
I
yourself.
cannot tell a lie.
You watch yourself.
And we'll
you
have,
too.
we'll have so much fun, right,
Oh,
Karen?
my
And I
God.
get to do it with Ken
That's
Williams.
right.
The other thing is,
Jazzed.
are you a Beatles fan, John Lennon fan?
I'm aware, and I heard what you said in advance. Yeah, I remember where I was when I was in New York
Wow, doing what?
living.
I mean, just watching TV? Is that what you just heard it on TV?
I had just moved to Weehawken,
Oh,
and I
wow.
heard it on the news in the middle of the night. There's
Weehawken
more
is
of
the
a
very
story
last.
there, but
Weehawken is the
love
very last exit before New York City.
Oh, okay.
On Route
or the
3.
first exit out of
That's
New
right. Get the hell out of there. Yeah. All right, Karen.
Yeah, I was living in
Lo-
I'm looking forward to hearing that. I think I'll listen to it.
No, appreciate that. You guys,
All right.
you guys behave on the 30th. I'll warn you again before. Thanks, Karen.
All
Thanks,
right,
Karen.
take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
You too. I got to keep my eye on you two all the time.
It'll be fun. We're gonna have a good time.
Okay, I
All
heard
right.
it's going to be fun. Fine. Our food drive going strong, Kenny.
Yes, it is.
Let's fill up those barrels, okay?
Can always be stronger, though.
Always. Feed my people is who benefits from our food. Excuse me.
A little too much food this morning, Vic?
Well, I had the St. Louis Bread Company cherry thing that I love. St. Louis County Republican Central Committee and us getting it. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm not drunk. I swear to God. All three Bartolino's locations, both Chris's Pancake and Dining locations, all three Michael's Flooring locations, Friendly Sports Bar, and right here at our studios at Westport. And as Ken mentioned, if you're going to bring some food here, come on in and say hello.
Come on in.
Especially if you say, Vic, baby, that beard is so sexy. Ken.
Yeah, Vic.
A little levity, man.
Let's do it.
A little levity. That's next. I'm 1019 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Welcome home. I love this song.
Stream the Vic Porcelli Show at News Talk STL. The Vic Porcelli Show.
Oh, the erectionists who stormed Capitol Hill, patriots.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL. This is 1019 and 94.1.
You know, millennial Trump supporter. I listen to it like every day. Like, seriously, you get it.
News Talk STL.
As you know, Vincent's is not just my favorite jeweler. Vincent's is my only jeweler. And I was in recently looking at lab-grown diamonds. These are not glass. They are actual diamonds, but they cost a fraction of a natural diamond. You can check them out at Vincent's.com, or better yet, see these lab-grown diamonds in person. You're going to be amazed at the beauty and the price. Vincent's Jewelers, VincentsJewelers.com.
Hello, Kirk Hilsinger, Chairman of the Republican Party for the City of St. Louis. We complain about dark, out-of-state money being used to influence Missouri politics, and we actively have that going on right now. Out-of-state interests from as far as Ohio and Michigan are collecting signatures to bypass what your state legislators have done this summer. We request you decline to sign these petitions. For more information, see us at stl-gop.com.
Paid for by St. Louis City Republican PAC, Curtis Farber, Treasurer.
This is the time of the year most of us are checking off our holiday gift list. Identity thieves have lists too, and your personal information might be on that list. Protect your identity with LifeLock. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every single second and alerts you to the threats you could miss yourself. If your identity is stolen, your own U.S.-based restoration specialist is going to work to fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Make this season about joy, not identity theft, with LifeLock. Save up to 40% off your first year at LifeLock.com with the promo code BECK. Terms apply.
Guys, don't propose with a ring that she didn't pick out. Trust us, she already has a ring in mind. So engage with Gage Diamonds, in person or online, where Gage's skilled ring designers will work with her to create the perfect setting, matched with the perfect stone. Gage specializes in exquisite lab-grown diamonds. Financing available. GageDiamonds.com. We're engagement's middle name.
If you have a phone, you have a radio.
Wherever I'm at, home, car, wherever.
Download the all-new NewstalkSTL app.
If you have a phone, you have a radio. Just the convenience on the phone. Streaming live on the mobile app.
Love the new app.
And listen anytime,
everywhere.
Anywhere. Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. The Vic Porcelli Show.
Forget about it.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
All right, listen, I'm sure you have a phone, right? Everybody's got a phone.
Yes.
But did you know that your phone is also a radio? And in all seriousness, listening to the station on the phone is so easy that it's all I do now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I either put the Bluetooth on the phone and let the phone pick up the Bluetooth and listen to the station there, or plug the headphones in if I'm not in the car. You know, it's just a nice, easy way to get the station because your phone is also a radio.
Yeah, we just got a new vehicle, and it just makes it so much easier when you use the app.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yep.
It's only one push.
All right, Kenny, you know what we need?
Well, Vic, I don't know, but
Yes, you do.
Do I know?
Come on.
All right.
You know, it's a little levity, right?
I just thought it was time I just thought we'd have a little levity today.
It's an honor to be here. President Trump is back.
News about today's events and conditions.
I don't know about you, but I don't want my dollars going towards this crap.
A little levity.
77 million Americans voted to elect this president.
You ever noticed that the people who are wrong always seem to talk louder than anybody
I will
else?
hold myself to the truth, and I expect everyone in this room to do the same.
A little levity today.
So when we were talking to Karen, right? And she said the press secretary is like when KJP was doing it.
Right.
You know, she'd lean on the thing and she'd say, "What? I want to be clear," you know? Yeah. Actually it's Thursday.
What's that?
It's Thursday. Double doit. If you're gonna do a doit, you better
a double doit
you
Thursday.
better
We
do
used to have
two.
double doit Thursday when
Yes, we
Karine
did.
Jean-Pierre was the press secretary.
So she would thank you. She would lean on the podium, you know, like I got this, and then say nothing. Like words would come out, but it was like a crossword puzzle. You got to figure out what she was trying to say.
And
Because
she even had a smile like, I got this one, man. I'm ready to go.
She was the worst. Caroline Levitt, on the other hand, confidence, right?
Yeah.
Looks at her audience, which is the press corps there in the briefing room.
And also in that intro that we did just now, she said, I'm going to hold people accountable. And that was the very first speech she ever made coming out as press secretary. She references that in this clip we do.
This first one? Let's do it then, okay? Little levity.
The White House today launched a new fake news portal, which I found interesting. What is your objective with that, ultimately? And are you going to name the news networks? And are you also going to name some of the correspondents, some which may be here today?
Yes, we are. I'm glad you noticed. Much to the dismay of some of your colleagues in the room, John. And I think it goes to our original promise on day one to hold the media accountable, because unfortunately, and we deal with this all day, every day around here, there are so many fake stories that are unfortunately written that have inaccurate characterizations of meetings that took place. And it's all based on anonymous sourcing. And, you know, the standard for journalism, unfortunately, has dropped to such a historic low in this country. And again, we deal with it every day, where you can have an anonymous source who has no idea what they're talking about, zero credibility, call up a reporter in Washington and say, hey, I heard this. And then the next thing you know, it's on the front page of the New York Times. It's really incomprehensible. We appreciate the journalists, some of those who are in this room who do reach out for comment, who try to get things right. And there are some that remain. But overwhelmingly, the fake news that we see pumped out of this building on a day-to-day basis, it's honestly overwhelming to keep up with it all, and to constantly have to defend against these fake news and these attacks.
Wow, so much, Ken, so much.
I know.
I hope you were here at the beginning of the show when we introduced Karen Kataline, and we played this guy telling a joke. We called the Jew at the zoo, and you know, the IDF guy saves this girl who falls into the lion enclosure. And the guy from the New York Times says, well, that's great. Where'd you know how to do that? He says, IDF. And then the headline the next day in the New York Times is, IDF soldier assaults lion and takes his lunch. That's, you know, funny, but that's how it works, right? They take a story, here are the facts. If the facts are too much leaning towards the right, let's change that right away.
Right.
And fix it. In their words, fix it.
And that's when they actually use their journalistic skills to change this stuff. They shouldn't be doing it. They should be using journalism to report, but they use their ultimate skills in refining the wording to where it steers toward their narrative.
So there's a fake news portal on the whitehouse.gov website. And the first three, Boston Globe exposed, CBS News exposed, Independent exposed, and you can get the media offender of the week. Sometimes it's not always the media. Sometimes it's people like Mark Kelly, who.
So you went to whitehouse.gov, and where did you find that?
I did not, Ken. I just put in fake news portal into Google.
Oh, good.
And it took me to that. Not see, if I click this, it's going to take me to whitehouse.gov. Yeah, it did. And I don't know where the portal is from there, so I'm sorry. But if you type in fake news portal into Google, you'll get there. And I think it's a good thing, because the fake news is saying lies. The fake news
Our laws
is
are clear. Oh, sorry.
The fake news is what Ken has called for years lying by omission, because if the people that just watch mainstream media, they have no idea about this Tim Walz $1 billion fraud scheme.
Nothing.
So it's what they say and then what they don't say. When somebody says, hey, the pipe bombs were an exact DNA match of a Capitol police officer, a woman, and then a week or so later, we find out it's some guy from Virginia.
And they don't. And the telling thing here also, Vic, is that they don't mention the previous information about the DNA. They don't say, we thought it was this, but now it's this. They just completely eliminated that.
Well, that's why I'm glad we read Susan Crabtree's post on X. She said this undermines the DNA match for a Capitol police officer.
Right.
I'm just so sick of it. But there you go. Ken?
Yes.
A little levity, please.
I have a statement to read for you here. President Trump and Secretary Hegseth have made it clear that presidentially designated narco-terrorist groups are subject to lethal targeting in accordance with the laws of war. With respect to the strikes in question on September 2nd, Secretary Hegseth authorized Admiral Bradley to conduct these kinetic strikes. Admiral Bradley worked well within his authority and the law, directing the engagement to ensure the boat was destroyed and the threat to the United States of America was eliminated. And I would just add one more point to remind the American public why these lethal strikes are taking place. Because this administration has designated these narco-terrorists as foreign terrorist organizations. The president has a right to take them out if they are threatening the United States of America and if they are bringing illegal narcotics that are killing our citizens at a record rate, which is what they are doing. And under the previous administration, there was enough fentanyl trafficked into our country to kill every American man, woman, and child many times over. And so that's why you've seen a drastic difference and this administration's policy with respect to the last. And it's one of the many reasons the American public reelected this president and support this Secretary of War in conducting these strikes.
Ken, I thought I was exaggerating when I said, so what do they want? They want the fentanyl to come into the country and kill people? Is that what they want? As long as we don't kill narco terrorists in the water?
Yeah.
You remember me saying that?
Yes.
I thought I was like exaggerating, but that's what they want.
I'm sorry. We must follow the law. We must allow these people in to do this to the American people, and 100,000 people die. We have to, because that's just what we need to do.
They're just trying to make money, guys.
Right. That's all they're doing, is trying to work and make money.
That's what.
Who else did that, Vic?
Democrat. I think hitmen. Right.
That's what he said to me earlier. He's like, well, okay, if they want to say that, they're just fishermen making, they're just trying to make a living. Come on.
So do mafia hitmen, just trying to make a living. So see ya.
Right.
So I think that's all I had to say about that. All right. Can we fit one more in here?
Yeah.
Ken, liberty, please.
As part of President Trump's comprehensive executive physical, advanced imaging was performed because men in his age group benefit from a thorough evaluation of cardiovascular and abdominal health. The purpose of this imaging is preventative, to identify any issues early, confirm overall health, and ensure the president maintains long-term vitality and function. President Trump's cardiovascular imaging was perfectly normal. No evidence of arterial narrowing impairing blood flow or abnormalities in the heart or major vessels. The heart chambers are normal in size, the vessel walls appear smooth and healthy, and there are no signs of inflammation or clotting. Overall, his cardiovascular system shows excellent health. His abdominal imaging is also perfectly normal. All major organs appear very healthy and well perfused. Everything evaluated is functioning within normal limits with no acute or chronic concerns. In summary, this level of detailed assessment is standard for an executive physical at President Trump's age and confirms that he remains in excellent overall health.
That's pretty much what Karine Jean-Pierre said about Joe Biden, right? She went into that depth, didn't she, Vic?
How dare they? How dare they go through this? Well, we don't think Trump is physically able to be the president of the United States. When all you got to do is go back and watch a montage of Joe trying to walk around and find out where he's supposed to go. It's so funny that Jessica and I were just talking about remember the Easter Bunny?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Waved in front of Joe's face to walk this way.
I'll never forget that.
We were talking about that, and I think they want to question that person on how it was hard to work with Joe Biden when he didn't understand anything. And then all of a sudden that came on the screen on the Gutfeld show. They were talking about it. So, how dare they talk about Donald Trump's health and they didn't say anything about Joe Biden. How dare they?
But let's go back to the media for a second.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay. Well, okay. In line with that, then, Karine Jean-Pierre was asked, so how's Joe Biden's health? Oh, it's the best it's been in ever.
Hard to keep up with.
This man runs down the hallway. You've never seen anything like it. This guy will be in the hall and he'll run past us. We'll be like, oh my God, we can't keep up with the guy.
Do you remember, Ken, the night he was elected? Well, I use elected in quotes. And he had to come this long runway to go meet Kamala at the podium.
I know what you're gonna. Yeah.
And that stupid fake
oh
jog.
My God. My daughter Abby, when she was like 3, she hated running. She's about 5.
Who doesn't?
Well, right, but a lot of people love it though.
Huh.
Believe it or not, she hated it, but she had to act like she was running. So she would do this arm fast pushing, like she's running really, really fast, and her legs would little legs would be like going like 2 inches apart, like a cartoon almost.
That's Joe.
But she was running, and he was running like that.
So bad. I can't anymore. That's it.
A little levity every day. Have a little levity.
Little levity.
Little levity.
Little bit of levity. I wonder if that guy's alive or what. I don't know why I said that. I wonder if he's available. I wonder if he could talk to him and he realizes how profound his words were.
Yeah, I tried to find his name. They didn't give it.
Sons of bitches.
Yeah.
I want to dig a little deeper, Ken, into this pipe bomb thing because it just broke this morning. And it's not the person that they originally thought it was.
No, look this way, because we decided that you shouldn't be thinking about that woman cop anymore.
What are you saying? Don't look that way?
No, do not look that way at all.
Look the other way.
Yeah, don't even mention her, though, because you're not supposed to.
Okay. That's next on 1019 94.1 News Talk STL. Welcome home.
Stream the Vic Porcelli Show at NewstalkSTL.
Whoosh.
The Vic Porcelli Show.
Oh, for you.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
Ken, you're a musician. How about that bass line in this song?
Oh, it's such a groove. Yeah, man.
I used to think the record was skipping when we first started playing this at the river.
Yeah.
What's the matter? Is that okay?
Hey, well, I thought we were digital. We're not recording. This is not a record player anymore.
Well, no. But then it wouldn't have been funny if I didn't.
It wouldn't have been, right.
Just trying to keep it fun and funny.
I know.
Whether I fail or not. But you know who's fun and funny sometimes? Chris Cooper from Serenity Wealth Management. And he has his show here on Sundays. Did our morning show one day last week, I think it was.
Yeah.
And I'm listening to him like, wow, Chris is really, really a lot of fun.
Actually, it might have been even this week, Monday.
Was it Monday?
It may have been.
Maybe it was. Just a good guy. It's always great to see him when we have him scheduled to come on this show. He comes in smiling, got his coffee, makes me think of Kramer and Seinfeld. And, you know, that's the guy that you want to go to see about your wealth management.
Right.
Because he's got that down too. Don't get me wrong. He's fun, but when it's time to get serious, he can do that, or he can let you know about it without you even realizing that he was getting serious. So Serenity Wealth Management is the place to go to leave your money to your kids or your charity of your choice, not the government or medical care community. And also, Chris has written a couple of books. His most recent is called The New Holistic Retirement, and you can get it for free right now at SerenityNowTax.com. And his radio show, Serenity Wealth Now.
Mm-hmm.
That's got some fun.
Fun with finance.
No.
Vic. Yes, it's all full of it.
Oh my God.
Full of fun with finance.
You're full of
I love alliteration.
I do too. Serenity Wealth Now is the name of the show. And SerenityNowTax.com is how you get the free book. Serenity Now with Chris Cooper.
Investment advice offered through Fortis Capital Advisors.
Serenity Now!
On the next
Larry Connors, USA.
Today's story behind the story, looking for a killer. I end up in the police lineup. Witnesses point to me.
Larry Connors, USA. Now, weeknights 6 until 8 on News Talk STL.
Concerned about the condition of your windows driving up your energy bills? I was too. It's only called STL Windows and Doors. Their Provia windows combine old world craftsmanship the professional way, the Provia way, with over 65 years of combined experience, locally owned, offering competitive pricing and personalized service that the big box companies can't match. Call today for your free in-home estimate and start saving tomorrow. 314-277-5952 or stlwindowsanddoors.com.
Jeffco Patriot Radio.
Hey guys, Jefferson County Councilman Billy Crow here from Jeffco Patriot Radio. On behalf of Tim Jones and I just want to thank you for making Jeffco Patriot Radio the #1 listened to show on Sundays here on News Talk STL, where we dive into all the things happening in and around Jefferson County. Check Tim Jones and I out on Jeffco Patriot Radio this and every Sunday at high noon here on 101.9, 94.1 News Talk STL.
Jeffco Patriot Radio.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go and pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-515-2397. 800-515-2397. That's 800-515-2397.
This hour, the Vic Porcelli Show, brought to you by Connor Roofing. You can count on Connor for all your roofing needs. Visit ConnorRoofing.com. That's CONNER Roofing.com. Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019.
Hi, this is Joe DeVito, and you're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show on News Talk STL. We've already had our 2-drink minimum. How about you?
Thank you, Joe. So, a little sad today, Ken, because Steve Cropper Passed away yesterday. He was 84 years old. It's the guitar you're listening to right now. I mean, Booker T on the Hammond B3, obviously.
Yeah.
And Steve Cropper on the guitar. Steve Cropper, he actually co-wrote Sitting on the Dock of the Bay. Okay?
Yeah.
He was super important.
Oh, big time in music history, of course.
Memphis Soul, right? Stax Records. Stax Records had their house of musicians, you know. And when, you know, Sam and Dave came in, or Booker T or whatever, there was the musicians, you know. Steve Cropper, Duck Dunn, and the Memphis Horns,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
would all play on it.
And imagine all the musicians after that he influenced with just his music.
Ken, there's no doubt. I'm glad you brought that up, because there is absolutely no doubt about that. He has played on the Stax, being part of the Stax Records house band. Booker T and the MGs, who you're listening to right now, do Green Onions. He's played with Otis Redding, Wilson Pickett, Sam and Dave, Carla Thomas, Carla's dad, Rufus Thomas, and Johnny Taylor, and many more. And he and Duck Dunn. So you're a musician, right? That relationship, musical relationship between between a guitar player and a bass player, huge, right?
Oh, big time, yeah.
And of course, the bass player and the drummer, right? Always very, very.
Yeah, that's tighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember somebody asked me, who do you think was the best bass player ever? And I said, well, John Entwistle from The Who, you know. Plus, he had the world's greatest drummer to keep up with him, right?
Yeah, that's really what it comes down to, yeah.
So, Steve Cropper also was in the Blues Brothers band. So, the Blues Brothers introduced to America on Saturday Night Live. So, everybody thought it was just a comedy act, right?
Right.
It was Saturday Night Live. This must be funny. This must be comedy, right? And they did Soul Man. And there's a part in the song when John Belushi goes, "Play it, Steve." And on the Sam and Dave record, they say the same thing, and it's the same Steve. That's what's cool. Play it, Steve.
Yeah.
You know? So back in 1978 or 9, somewhere around there. Okay, so wait, I'm sorry. So the Blues Brothers, their first gig, real gig, not Saturday Night Live, but real gig in an arena, was the warm-up act for Steve Martin at the Hollywood Bowl. And the Steve Martin performance became his Wild and Crazy Guy album, you know, when he's got the rabbit ears or the arrow through the head thing. And people were like, oh my God, what is with this band? You had to know it was John Belushi, and you had to know it was Dan Aykroyd. I get that. But the band was truly unbelievable. Steve Cropper, Duck Dunn, Matt Guitar Murphy, who played with Muddy Waters. And
you have to be good when your nickname is Guitar.
You bet, right? Matt Guitar Murphy. And I don't know how much you know about the Briefcase Full of Blues album, but they do a song called B-Movie Boxcar Blues, and Matt Guitar Murphy kicks that in. But we're here to talk about Steve Cropper, sorry. Lou Marini, Blue Lou Marini, Tom Bones Malone, Alan Rubin, Mr. Fabulous. These are all people. Lou Marini and Tom Malone played in Blood, Sweat, and Tears in the day.
Yeah.
You know, the Al Cooper version of Blood, Sweat, and Tears. And Steve Jordan on the drums, Paul Schaefer on piano.
Yeah.
So I got tickets to see Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers at a venue in New York City called the Palladium. It used to be a theater. Now it's a nightclub, dance club. But a lot of people played, obviously, at the Palladium. So there was a place in Bloomfield, New Jersey, where I lived. It was actually a department store called Lipton's. And you bought the tickets for concerts downstairs at a Ticketron outlet, downstairs at Lipton's. And it was right by, like, all the china and all the stuff that can break. Talk about a bull in a china shop.
Right.
Right? Almost literally. And so I went to Lipton's and I bought my Tom Petty tickets. And then I'm driving home and I'm listening to the radio and they say, hey, going on sale right now, tickets for the Blues Brothers at the Palladium. I was like, holy Christ. I turned around. I did a U-turn right there on Broad Street, turned around, went back to Lipton's, and I got a pair of tickets for the Blues Brothers at the Palladium. Ken, I saw them live.
Yeah.
John Belushi, Dan Aykroyd, Steve Cropper, Duck Dunn, Lou Marini, Alan Rubin. Just an unbelievable band. And when you see them all together, it's really breathtaking. It really is.
Oh, I'm sure.
And so, again, I'll mention Steve Cropper passed away yesterday at the age of 84. Now, this is just, we're going to say something?
Yeah, I was going to say that back in August of 2021, I remember you and I had a conversation about musicians and how they defined an era and all that stuff. And then you said, yeah, but we're in an era right now where they're going to start dropping off like flies because, of just their age alone. This man was over 80 years old, 84. And yeah, you're right. I mean, how many of these musicians, these icons in music have died since we've been on the air here?
Boy, that's true, Ken. And just as a note, Steve Cropper's now gone. Duck Dunn died a few years ago. McIntyre Murphy is dead. And they're people who were important to the things we listened to when we were kids.
And I'm going to say something else here about you, Mr. Vic Porcelli.
What I do now, I'm fat.
Well, here's the deal. I've always called you the Forrest Gump of music, but you know what? You're an honorary cat. First of all, I've seen you on stage play, so you are a cat.
Okay.
Automatically, you are.
Okay.
But if you weren't, you would be because an honorary cat. I nominate Vic Porcelli as the honorary cat because you just know so much. And you've given so much to further the history of music to people that are listening right now.
Wow. I appreciate that, Ken Williams. I really do.
So true.
As far as the blues go, I was the youngest of all the cousins on my mother's side. She had 5 sisters. They all had kids. And so we're talking about 1967, 1968. And I remember they got the new Led Zeppelin album, and they were listening to it, and I was like, "Oh my God, this is great!" And then I took the album cover, and I'm looking at some of the songs, and then they were listening to the Stones, and then the Stones had songs by Morganfield, the songwriting credits in parentheses said McKinley Morganfield.
Yeah,
I was like, I got to find this McKinley Morganfield.
That's
guy.
You.
So I went to the record store, and I couldn't find anything by this supposedly famous McKinley Morganfield. And then a few years passed, and then I think it was 1972, there was a record released called, you ready, Ken? Muddy Waters, a.k.a. McKinley Morganfield.
Oh, wow.
That was his real name, McKinley Morganfield. And I was, I've seen that. I've seen Muddy Waters records,
Yeah, right.
So I started buying, Muddy Waters records. 1977, he released the album called Hard Again, which has obviously Muddy Waters, Pine Top, Perkins, Pine Top. That's what he would say when he want Pine Top to do it. And I got to interview Pine Top, by the way.
Did you?
I had a Saturday afternoon blues show at my college, and it was the day anniversary of Muddy's birth or death. I don't remember, but I had all his albums because that's all I was going to play, Muddy Waters, for 3 hours. What kind of cool radio show is that, by the way, right? To hear 3 hours of Muddy Waters. And I had all the covers. And this guy that I knew that listened to the show brought Pine Top into the station. And Pine Top looked at all the albums, and he started to get like a little emotional,
Yeah.
So I got to talk to Pine Top.
Okay, Forrest Gump of music.
So anyway, that's what got me into it was Muddy Waters. He was number one. And then when you're listening to the radio, when you're as old as I am in the 60s, you're hearing Sam and Dave do Soul Man. Right?
Right.
Play it, Steve. And it's the same Steve. It's Steve Cropper. And then they team up with John. See, when you're John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd and you have the power that they had, you could have got any musician in the world that you wanted.
Yeah.
And they chose these guys, Have you seen the Blues Brothers movie?
Oh, yeah, a long time ago.
Great movie.
Yeah.
John Lee Hooker's in it doing boom, 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 boom. B3, Hammond B3. Okay, quick story. Is that time for a quick story? What you're talking about when you saw me play was the St. Louis Blues Heritage Festival.
Yeah, and I got to play my saxophone there.
Yeah.
With you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was on stage.
On stage.
No fans because the festival hasn't opened yet.
No.
But we played and we auditioned people live on the air. Do you remember that?
Yes.
And this guy, Jim Sullivan, who I haven't heard from in a long time, he wanted to play the piano, the keyboards. I said, well, go ahead, let's hear you play. And he's got a Hammond B3 at his house, and he starts playing this.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, my God, you're in. I mean, it was...
Stop.
It was,
all right, hold on.
Yeah, it was that good.
Yeah.
And we had a good time.
It was fun, man. That was one of the few times. One other occasion where I got to play saxophone for 101 The River was New Year's Eve night. I did Auld Lang Syne in front of a huge group of people. Remember, we were at a hotel.
I do not.
Some big thing. And those were the only times that I ever did that for the radio station.
That's a
with
shame.
you.
That's
and,
a shame. Because you were a good saxophone player. You are a good saxophone player.
Well, I haven't played in a while.
Well, brush that thing
bring
off.
I should and bring it in.
Dust it off. Bring it in. Because New Year's Eve is coming.
It's coming, man.
And you can play some.
And actually, I'll be on the air. I'll be hosting for Vic Porcelli on the 31st.
There you go. Bring it in.
Okay, maybe it might be something I'll shoot for.
I get it because I haven't picked up a harmonica and I can't tell you how long, and I don't even know if I can even play anything anymore. But it'd be fun. I'll tell you that much. All right. Well, Eric Burlison, the U.S. Congressperson representing Missouri 7th District, has this communications director. Kid's name is Nate Lucas. You know Nate Lucas?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's next. So we'll raise a little hell with Nate. Coming up next on News Talk STL.
News, analysis, opinion.
He lines up 4 deals with countries.
Trump signed trade and mineral deals with Cambodia, Thailand, Malaysia, and Vietnam.
He's a great leader. 101.9 and 94.1.
Number 1 for conservative talk.
News Talk STL.
Hi, it's Ken Williams, and my favorite Capriati sandwich is the Cap Pastrami. You've got hot pastrami, melty Swiss cheese, crunchy coleslaw, and zesty Russian dressing. What else do you need? I love Capriati's, and you will too.
On Manchester at McKnight in Rock Hill.
If you're considering an annuity as part of your retirement plan, we need to talk. Hi, I'm Bob Stockdale, Senior Vice President Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money Saturday mornings at 9 on News Talk STL 1019. Annuities can be a useful tool for some retirement investors, but not all annuities are created equal. Every week, we meet clients who own complex annuities that don't suit their needs and, in some cases, actively undermine their retirement plan. Before you purchase an annuity, get a second opinion from the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel. Requesting a consultation is free of charge. To request a free consultation, contact us at clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com, or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas & Company Incorporated, member NYSE and SIPC.
Hey, it's Susie Moore. If new flooring makes you think hassle, think again, because Michael's Flooring is changing the game. For over 30 years, Michael's has been locally owned and trusted for quality, variety, and amazing service. Whether it's carpet, hardwood, laminate, luxury vinyl, or ceramic tile, their expert team makes installing new floors exciting, not stressful. That's why customers keep coming back. Visit Michael's Flooring at St. Peter's, Starting Prairie, Creve Coeur, or online at igotfloored.com. That's igotfloored.com.
KLGY HD3 Clayton, K270BW Bellefonte, KNBS Bowling Green. This is News Talk STL at 1019, 94.1, and always streaming at newstalkstl.com.
Breaking news this hour from Town Hall. I'm Rich Thomason. After almost 5 years, the FBI has reportedly made an arrest in its investigation of pipe bombs planted at 2 locations in Washington, D.C. on the eve of the 2021 U.S. Capitol riot.
Seeking a breakthrough in the case as this year began, the FBI published additional information about its investigation, including an estimate of the suspect's height. It also released a previously withheld video of the shadowy image of the suspect placing one of the bombs on the evening of January 5th, 2021, near the offices of the Democratic and Republican National Committees in D.C. The devices did not detonate and no one was hurt. George Williams, Washington.
Presidential envoy Steve Witkoff is meeting in Florida today with Ukrainian officials as the Trump administration continues trying for a deal to end the war in Ukraine. President Trump referring to his team's earlier meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin.
He would like to end the war. That was their impression. Now, whether or not, that was their impression. Their impression was that he would like to see the war ended. I think he'd like to get back to dealing a more normal life. I think he'd like to be trading with the United States of America, frankly, instead of, losing thousands of soldiers a week.
Calling them ridiculously expensive, burdensome, and horrible, President Trump is trashing Joe Biden's stringent fuel economy standards for new vehicles. Mr. Trump says the move should cut at least $1,000 from the cost of a new vehicle, while encouraging automakers to invest more in their American manufacturing while producing vehicles that consumers really want. Unemployment applications fell last week, dropping to 191,000. That is the lowest level in more than 3 years. Watching Wall Street, the Dow is up about 10 points, while the NASDAQ 17 points in the red. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hey, it's Mike Gallagher. The holidays are right around the corner, and you know what that means. Travel, gifts, family gatherings, and a whole lot of spending. Here's a way to get ahead of it all. Call my friends Mike and Brian and the team at Fellowship Home Loans. Rates have dropped again. That means you could refinance, lower your monthly payment, even skip your next 2 mortgage payments. That's right, 2 months with no mortgage payment. Put away the checkbook. Keep that money for the holidays. You won't be making any more payments till 2026. Maybe you're not looking to refinance, but you need access to cash. Well, Fellowship now offers their own HELOC and line of credit. Approval just takes a few minutes, and you can have funds in your account in as little as 4 days. Use it to pay off bills, finish a renovation, or simply get ready for the new year. Just go to fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G, fellowshiphomeloans.com/Mike G, or call 800-510-MIKE, 800-510-MIKE, 800-510-6453. Fellowship Home Loans, mortgage lending by the book.
Nationwide Mortgage Bankers, DBA Fellowship Home Loans, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 819382.
This hour of News Talk STL is brought to you by Rodney and Jen Wallner and the entire Wallner home selling team at Berkshire Hathaway. Call them today at 314-810-SOLD. 314-810-SOLD. From the Michaels Flooring Outlet Weather Center.
I'm meteorologist Chance Scotch with your first alert forecast. A cold day on deck for Thursday. Only talking highs into the lower 20s. Most of the day going to see feels like temperatures into the teens, into the single digits in some areas. Then as we have Thursday night into Friday, once again going to be seeing overnight lows into the lower teens. Going to be looking at a slight warm-up into the upcoming weekend, dry until Saturday night and early Sunday morning, where we could see a light wintry mix possible. Then a warm-up continues on into midweek next week with highs into mid-40s. In the first alert for Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chance Scotch.
Vic Porcelli.
Come on, you're Italian. You understand.
Every day is a busy day all of a sudden.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
Tough and smart, and I love Italian, so, he's definitely Italian.
At least I have this show to come and talk about it and let some stuff up.
What kind of a show are you guys putting on here today?
The Vic Porcelli Show.
All right, don't forget 1041. This hour, we're going to talk to former Congressperson Louie Gohmert about this Arctic frost stuff that Jack Smith's got a lot of nerve.
Jack Frost?
Did I say Jack Frost?
No, but you should.
Oh,
Jack Frost.
Oh, my God.
Arctic Frost, yeah.
Oh, my God. Jack Frost Smith. You're right. So he had a lot of nerve going after Trump when he was doing illegal stuff himself.
Yeah.
And now he's been subpoenaed.
Right.
So I can't wait to hear that hearing. That's going to be fun. But we'll talk to Louie Gohmert about that coming up at 1041. Right now, I think it's time for Nate.
Let's talk to Nate Lucas. The communications director for U.S. Representative Eric Burlison.
How much has changed in this free country since 9/11? Now, I'm getting ready to go get touched by a TSA agent. It's the most action I've gotten in years.
Good morning, Nate Lucas. How are you, pal?
Hey, what's happening? Happy Thursday.
You too, Nate.
Happy Thursday, Nate.
Communications director for U.S. Representative Eric Burlison. So, let's go back just a little bit when the Democrats were saying illegal aliens are not getting any health care. What are you crazy Republicans talking about? Did we miss something when they first got here and got the phones and got the card and got all this, the big hotels? Did we miss that?
Well, it'd be nice. I keep wondering, how how do I sign up for all these, perks, the free handouts?
Me too, Nate.
It's like where is the sign up sheet? It's truly incredible. But like this story out of Minnesota where Somalians have been frauding Medicaid, and they're essentially siphoning, I think it was like $7.2 billion or maybe $1 million back to Somalia. I mean, it's like, how are these payments going out and it's not throwing off any sort of detection like fraud? And it just makes you wonder, like, I think the problem goes so deep in our government, and I don't see a whole lot of people doing a lot about it. And it's very frustrating, I think, to the average American who sits there and goes, well, I struggle to put food on the table for my family of four, just everyday costs are through the roof still. And it's like, and we have the money to pay out fraud to Somalia? Like, what the hell's going on?
Right. I think they underestimated President Trump, and they thought he might back down from people like Elon. You made fun of me the way I said this the other day.
No.
Ilhan Omar. And President called her garbage, and she went nuts.
He's always been a racist, a bigot, a xenophobic, and Islamophobic. We know that he called African nations a shithole in his first administration. We know that when he came down that escalator, he said he was going to stop Muslim immigration into this country. And so it is not surprising that he is going after Black immigrants in this country.
These people are allowed to say just the most ridiculous things.
You feel like you're the only normal person in a school full of nut jobs.
Yes.
Am I right? Wow.
The level of stupidity that they are displaying every single day is frankly embarrassing.
I appreciate your situation.
I'm at the point.
Everything will be copacetic.
How else do we get a Trump presidency again?
Wow.
The dumbing of the United States has arrived.
I can see you're very flamboyant now.
What is wrong with you?
I appreciate your situation.
These people are just idiots.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.
She can call names all she wants, but President Trump does it, and it's horrible.
It's crazy. That was a little thing Ken made when I said that she sounds like Christopher Walken. And then she showed up at the Christopher Walken family reunion. But, I mean, honestly, what did she think was going to happen with President Trump? Did she really think she was going to make him back down? Is that what she thought?
I mean, maybe she's that arrogant to think that possibly that was the case, but it's just astonishing that you have these people like Ilhan Omar, who is probably here illegally. She married her brother to get into the country to begin with, and how in the hell she gets elected to Congress is just like a head scratcher. Again, it's like, where's the sign up sheet? It's so like maddening and frustrating to even understand how in the world someone like that could be a representative for the United States federal government. It's hard to fathom. However, I've always said this: if she hates the country so much, can you just leave? Like, can you just go back home? And we don't need to deal with her nonsense anymore. But unfortunately, I think that her priorities are so misguided that she is literally trying to infiltrate the United States Congress and invoke like some Islamic takeover of the federal government. And I think that she truly thinks that that's, in her scope. And so she's doing precisely probably what her marching orders are. And it's a Trojan horse that is meant to destroy the country. And I think that is, she should be thrown out of not only Congress, but she should be thrown out of the country as far as I'm concerned.
You know what, Nate? I mean, her priorities obviously are not American. Her priorities are Somalian. And, she wants to go back, then go back.
I mean, I have no worry. I don't know how they take away my citizenship and like deport me, but I don't even know like why that's such a scary threat. Like, I'm not the 8-year-old who escaped war anymore. I'm grown. My kids are grown. Like, I can go live wherever I want.
Yeah.
Go!
She doesn't care, Nate. It's like if someone were to come to me and say, "Look, I'm throwing you out," I would be devastated.
Yeah.
I'm an American. I love this country. I wouldn't know what to do. She's like, "I don't care. Throw me back to Somalia. I love it over there. It's great.
And it's the arrogance. It's the pure arrogance of her finger waving in your face saying, listen here, you stupid American. I'm here. There's nothing you can do about it. I'm going to bark about how terrible everything is in this country. And you can't stop me. And I think something that would really do this administration, I think, a massive lift would be to go to the full extent. Don't just put out a truth social. Take Ilhan Omar and get her out of here. Like, literally do the thing. And I would, for one, love to see it. And I think that there are a lot of people and people who have voted for Donald Trump and the administration that would actually love to see something like that happen, because it would showcase that it's not just rhetoric. It's meeting the moment with what they will do and what they have done and saying, we're not doing this anymore. Your little game is up. The shtick is over and you got to go. And then actually watch that process unfold, I think would be revolutionary, and something that this administration, they could turn the tide very quickly if they started doing things like that.
And Nate, I totally agree with that. And we wouldn't the Trump administration would not have to do it just by saying it. They could base it on law, because what she did was illegal. She actually had her brother come into this country and had to marry him in order for him to be brought into this country. And what they're trying to do right now is go into Minneapolis and get rid of the illegal Saudis or Somalis.
Yeah.
And they should. That's what they should be doing. And they should do this with her as well.
Yeah. And I think, to your point, like, it only goes so far to just sit here and talk about it. Like, I just think that his base is ready to see monumental action. And we haven't necessarily seen that. And, whether you want to play the blame game and say things, with Pam Bondi or Kash Patel or Dan Bongino, it's just like, I'm ready to see the thing go. And unfortunately, we haven't seen the level, I think, that is necessary that has to meet the moment. I'll just keep saying it. And unfortunately, I don't know if they're scared of the optics or they feel like this could be challenged in court. Challenge it in court. Let's go. Just do the thing and watch it. Watch their house of cards fall right in front of them. And I think that would be huge for the administration.
We're talking to Communications Director for U.S. Representative Eric Burlison. It's our great friend Nate Lucas. So Nate, I mean, who knows if the president was walking right by your office when you said that, right? And then he'd say, yeah, Nate's right. Get her out of here. Move her out. You're fired. Get out of here. Because he would.
Well, I will say, like, one thing that I think that is a little disturbing, and I want to be careful here, because I love Donald Trump. I think, he's probably the best president of my lifetime. But I do think at some point we've got to move the ball. We have to meet what they've done to this country, and it just doesn't seem like Republicans, for whatever reason, want to go to that extent, and that's really frustrating, particularly to a voting group, let's just say 18 to 40, that if you look at the polls, aren't going exceptionally well for the administration, and that is a concern. Even if you look at the special election from Tuesday in Nashville, that was an R+22 district, and while the Republican won, he only won by 9 points. So nationwide, if you look at all of the elections so far this season, we're seeing about a 10 to 15 point bump for the left. And I don't think that that's going to go away. And so while Congress sits here and passes whatever the hell they're doing, and it doesn't necessarily reflect, in terms of affordability problems, I think we're headed towards a midterm election in which Democrats are going to clean the floor.
Yeah.
And if it's going to be some big shock to all of these Republicans who think that they're doing a great job, it's like, no, you're not reading the room well. You need to do all of the things that you campaigned on. And those things take courage. They might be difficult votes. They might be difficult positions, but you have to get over the politics and make good policy. And that is something that this town gets very uncomfortable with, and in particular, Republicans.
Republicans more than anybody. Nate, we've talked about this with you a few months ago here on this show, where it's like, okay, true MAGA people, true MAGA conservatives need a payoff. We're getting very worn thin by the inaction, and what's going to happen is from even just the morale, it's destroying it. We need a payoff.
Well, because at some point you look at it and you go, okay, I bought into this, and yet we're not doing the thing. So what makes you different than so basically we're just the left, but say we have a border now? I mean, that's not good enough. And I think what's concerning for a lot of people is we saw the ridiculous lawfare that Democrats and the leftists and their mob are willing to break down, to tear down. And it's not a matter of if, it's when they assume power again, people like us will be targeted. We watched them weaponize the DOJ and the FBI. They turned a blind eye to all of these criminal, illegal aliens pouring over our border. And you know what they did? They attacked parents at school boards. They attacked Christians. They came after parents. They did everything they possibly could to make your average human being's life miserable. And if you think that they're just going to stop, that is Looney Tunes, and they're going to go even harder. So, like I said, you have to at some point do the hard things that you promised, or we're going to lose, and it's not going to be pretty. Because even if people go out and they don't necessarily vote for like the left, they'll be apathetic, and apathy is a really dangerous spot to be for a political party. They've got to prove to their voters that they're willing to do the hard things.
You know what, Nate? You're absolutely right. I'm not going to argue with anything you just said, for sure. And not that he would be affected by it, but the Dems think he's Hitler. The Dems think he went way too far, and I get it. He's got to do what he believes in, and he's got to make the people who voted for him and heard those campaign promises be happy. But it's not easy. But if it was easy, I guess everybody would do it.
Yeah, and one thing. Okay, so let's just look at the economy. It takes a while to get genuine, I guess, tangible results from the economy. And so, whatever happens from the aftermath of the big, beautiful bill and tax cuts and all that, that just takes time. It's harder to see something like that really be implemented in, say, a month, 2 months, that people want to see. I mean, affordability is a big thing right now. But if the administration was sort of doing things that they could make a tangible feeling on, say, arresting people, going after the deep state, draining the swamp, and a lot of it, if you go and just look at the Epstein files alone, that's, I think, was a true breaking point for a lot of people, where it was like, wait, what? We can't go after these, like, the donor class because they're in the Epstein files, and that's who's controlling, like, our politics.
Right.
And that was just such a strange, like, choke point where it truly, even myself, it's like, does the president of the United States truly control the country, or is there another element that has, say, more power or more say on what gets done or what doesn't get done? And that's very concerning, because when the moment meets where people genuinely don't trust that our government has control of the power levers, it's like, well, who does? Who is running the country?
Great point.
Now, have you ever seen the movie Wag the Dog?
I have not, but I like that. I like where you're going.
Well, that's why a lot of this doesn't even surprise me, because
you need to see it, Nate.
It was De Niro and Dustin Hoffman, and they do so many things. You talk about the donor class running things. That's exactly what this whole movie is about. The tail wagging the dog. Take a look at it, and then next Thursday, let's talk a little bit about that movie and how things are happening right now about that. Okay.
All right.
What's with this pipe bomb stuff? A week ago, it was an exact DNA match of a Capitol Police woman, Nate, and now it's some guy from Virginia who doesn't have a name.
Well, and I got to tell you, thank God for people like Thomas Massey. I mean, he has played a huge part in that whole investigative process that the Blaze released in that report, which lined up all of the movements from the Capitol Police officer. And what's funny is that I don't know if you followed where she went, but now she is like in some advisory role at the CIA. And again, all of these things, it's like, is it just, wow, that's bizarre. So like she did something that's very sketchy. They've used January 6th time and time again to basically turn all of us into domestic terrorists. And it's like if this is actually the person, she gets rewarded with some like special treatment job inside the CIA.
And they didn't
again, like what is that?
That's amazing to me, because Vic and I were just talking about how not only did they say, well, it's somebody else now, but they completely eliminate. They didn't even refer to, well, that was a cop that had the DNA on the pipe bomb, but we don't want to talk about that now. We're going to talk about this. They just completely, like, as if it never even existed. They didn't say anything about it anymore.
But what does it say too? Again, like I'm really trying to be careful. I'm trying to give them like the benefit of the doubt, but why is the Blaze and a journalist and Thomas Massey giving us more information about the alleged pipe bomber than our own FBI?
Because,
I mean, even yeah,
because it's Wag the dog. That's why.
Yeah.
Well, that is going to lead us down a very dangerous path.
I agree.
And I said months ago about, Mom Donnie in New York. And I said, if you think Mom Donnie's bad, just wait. You're going to get more candidates like that. And because of the inaction, people right now are very frustrated with the government. It's obvious. And so if they are giving even false ideas from Democrat socialists, it's going to be like a carrot that's dangled out in front of their face, because at least they're going to promise to like blow the thing up. And whether or not you like that kind of rhetoric, that's where people are at. They want to see drastic change in the government, and they're not getting it right now from a Republican supermajority. And, I don't care if you have an R or a D or an I next to your name in parentheses. It doesn't matter. If you don't do the things that you said you were going to do, it's not going to go very well for you.
All right. We're out of time, Nate, but I just want to say just very quickly, Michael Franzese. Do you know who Michael Franzese is? He's a former capo in the Colombo crime family in New York. Left that life, spent 10 years in jail, left that life, and now he's a inspirational speaker and stuff. But he does talk about the mob. And he goes, let me tell you, back in the day, we'd never let this guy get elected. Mandami. These are socialists, these are, Marxists. We'd never let it happen. I don't know what that means. Like we'd fix the election, or I don't know what, but it would have been better for sure. All right, Nate, give our best to the representative, and we'll talk next week. Watch Wag the Dog, okay?
I'm going to watch it. Sounds good, guys. Thank you as always.
Have a good one, brother.
All right. Watch out for those drivers out there, Kenny.
No kidding, man.
And I can't repeat any of that story.
I know, it sucks. Something happened to me on the road when it was snowing really, really, really bad. And this guy was a comedian. He was actually trying to be mean to me, but I started laughing at him, and he got worse because I was laughing, and he was just funny. The guy was funny. He was a funny guy.
He was using a very bad word.
Very bad word. Yeah, I can't.
But Ken's telling me the story. I swear to God, tears were coming down my face. I was laughing so hard.
Tell you what, Vic Heads, if you see me sometimes, say, what about that story, Ken? And I'll tell you.
Maybe we can just record something off the air.
Maybe. Okay. We might be able to do that.
They got to hear you do that. They got to hear you do that voice. All right. Coming up next, the death of John Lennon, okay? December 8th, 1980. The way I found out about it, which was kind of unconventional. That's next in Porcelli's Deli on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. Welcome home.
Stream the Vic Porcelli Show at News Talk STL. The Vic Porcelli Show.
The only reason the border is not secure is Donald Trump.
We have rescinded so many Trump immigration policies, it would take so much time to list them.
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
Congressman. Okay, so it was so great to see Cindy Blanton yesterday.
Yes.
And she came in, paid us a visit, and we talked a little bit about all the great companies that she represents from Bauer Insurance Agency, which is located, by the way, inside Mid Rivers Mall. I think that's so cool.
And I knew she did a lot of different things, had a lot of packages and things. So she has something for everybody.
Yeah,
It's
she really
crazy.
does. And to be in the mall like that is just great. I mean, we were talking about the mall walkers yesterday.
Yeah.
She's located at 1600 Mid Rivers Mall, Suite 2304 in St. Peters. Progressive, Travelers, National General, Nationwide, Safeco, Bristol. Long list of companies. You're going to find something that's good for you. Excuse me one second. And she's very pleasant and nice and easy to talk to. Owned and operated, Bauer Insurance Agency, owned and operated by Cindy Blanton. And I love a good, strong businesswoman.
Oh, yeah.
Like Cindy.
Yep.
And it's exactly what she is. So go and pay her a visit, and you can see her. You can call her at 636-812-2001. Bauer Insurance Agency and our great friend Cindy Blanton.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, and I'm excited to bring you the best price ever on my exclusive Gaza Dream Bed sheets. If you're on the front line fighting Hamas, you need the best sleep possible on my exclusive Gaza Dream Bed sheets, made from the finest cotton in the world, grown only in a region between the Golan Heights, the Dead Sea, and the West Bank. My Gaza Dream Bed sheets will get you the great night's sleep you need to kill Hamas terrorists. Order now and get a pair of my pillow slippers to sneak up on those Hamas terrorists. Use the number on your screen and use the promo code SHALOM. Please order now.
Steph's Pizza. You know the name. They're famous for their St. Louis style pizza. But don't forget their party platters for the holidays. Steph's sandwiches, pasta, and pizza are always big hits at any get-together. And the party platters make it easy. 3 great locations, St. Peter's on Jargaman, in St. Charles on Zumbill, and their newest location in Lake St. Louis at 111 Pondfort Trail. Check them out at Steph'sPizza.com, Steph'sPizza.com. And remember, tonight's a good night for Steph's Pizza.
Tim Jones and Chris Arps in the afternoon.
Brian Pichelle. He is the executive director of Dogs for Our Brave.
I've been very blessed to have incredible support in my life as I battled through my journey of coming back from Iraq and dealing with, PTSD and everything I saw and witnessed as a medic. Not all veterans have that type of support. And ultimately, that's why I say we are a gift of love. We are a gift. We want to be that beacon of hope.
Tim Jones and Chris Arps, weekdays at 4 on News Talk STL.
Columbo here for my friends at Bluff City Outdoors in Alton. The knowledgeable staff at Bluff City has served the St. Louis outdoor community for decades, and they can take care of all your bow hunting needs, all your trapping needs, all your fishing needs, and more. Plus, while you're there, you can schedule a trip with a local fishing guide and shoot in their archery range. Bluff City Outdoors is open 7 days a week, 1 mile east of Fast Eddie's at 2813 East Broadway in Alton. Follow them on Facebook and at BluffCityOutdoors.com.
News Talk STL. Welcome to Porcelli's Deli.
Yes, very good. I'll have a Bloody Mary and a steak sandwich and a steak sandwich, please.
But the Chinese food here is terrible.
With Vic Porcelli.
He's a very strange young man.
He's an idiot.
Porcelli's Deli is moved to 1019 and 941 News Talk STL. Come on in. We're open. Have a seat. Vic will tell you a story.
Hi there. Come on in. Or should I say, come on in? Yeah, we're going to have a sweet little bevy here together. We got it on the menu for you.
Little convo.
Convo about John Lennon. So here was my dilemma last night, okay? December 8th is the date that John Lennon was murdered in New York City. And I tormented over this last night. Do I do it 4 days earlier or do I do it 5 days after the anniversary,
Yeah.
And I think I made the right decision. I wanted to do it now so that when people talk about it on Monday, and we will too, that, Vic said that on the deli.
Vic, you did it right because you were first and correct.
That's right. Unlike the mainstream media.
Right.
So John Lennon, obviously, the Beatles, just, I learned a little bit about the Beatles and John Lennon just in the last couple of days, and I don't know how this happened, but sometimes I get caught in the rabbit hole of asking a question to Google, and then other people ask some ridiculous questions, but some very good questions about the same topic that you just searched. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's a down arrow. You got to hit the down arrow and then answer the question.
Yeah.
So, and we're going to talk about Saturday Night Live again. 1976. It was hysterical, actually. I got to give Lorne Michaels credit for it. He gets on Saturday Night Live, and he's trying to get the Beatles to reunite and come on Saturday Night Live for $3,000. $3,000 right here. You don't have to pay Ringo. You could take $1,000 each, but come on the show. And it was really a funny sketch because you knew it was never going to happen. But that very night, Ken, Paul McCartney visits John Lennon at his apartment in New York City. First time they'd really spent any time together since the breakup of the Beatles. And the last thing, this is so sad. The last thing when they're watching Lorne Michaels do this, and they discussed the possibility of taking a cab and going on Saturday Night Live that night.
Oh, wow.
Could you imagine that?
Oh, impromptu?
Yes. Oh, my God. It would have broke. Well, there was no internet. It would have broke television or something.
Yeah.
It would have been the entertainment story of the century that Paul and John got back together just to be on Saturday Night Live, but they didn't do it, of course. So they did discuss it. They decided it wasn't a good idea. I don't know why it wouldn't have been a good idea. And then Paul leaves the apartment, and the last thing John says to Paul is, "Think of me every now and then, my old friend."
Wow.
Yeah. Think of me every now and then, my old friend.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
And then 4 years later, he was dead. We'll get to that in a second. 1974, we've talked about this many times. Matter of fact, the anniversary of that is coming up at the end of, oh no, it already happened. Thanksgiving night, 1974. John Lennon appeared with Elton John on stage at Madison Square Garden as part of a bet when Elton John sang backup on Whatever Gets You Through the Night. And Elton says, this is going to be a #1 hit. And John says, no, I don't think it's going to be, because he was always the cynical one, you know?
Right, yeah.
And all right, let's make a bet. If it's #1, you have to come sing it with me on stage at Madison Square Garden. John says, a bet. So, of course, it was #1. And John had to pay up. And he pays up on Thanksgiving night, 1974. And Elton John says, it's our pleasure to hear and to see Mr. John Lennon. Could you imagine sitting there?
Being there, yeah.
And see John Lennon walk out? And they do Whatever Gets You Through the Night. They do like I Saw Her Standing There. They do Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. And that, poignantly enough, was John's last public performance ever. Last time we saw him on stage in public playing was that night. Of course, it could have been 76 if they decided to go on Saturday Night Live. So that was 74, 76. We go to 1980. John Lennon releases the album Double Fantasy. And it got attention, you know. The album did get attention. Watching the Wheels, Woman was on that album. Starting Over, if you remember the song Starting Over.
I remember all those songs, yeah.
They all got play on radio stations around the country, and people are like, well, John's back.
I just remember back then, the biggest problem I had was Yoko Ono.
Oh, she's been a problem since day one.
I know, but that really soured people on him, I think, for a while, because of what he let. As a band member at the time too.
Yes, Ken.
I was like, how could you do that to your band members?
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's all. And it may not have been any of that stuff, but that was just the word.
Ken, there was so much animosity at the end of the Beatles.
Yeah.
John Lennon said it was the Paul McCartney show. It wasn't the Beatles anymore. It was the Paul McCartney show. George Harrison said, you know, Paul was taken over. George Harrison had enough songs written to release a triple album.
Oh, he was amazing.
A triple album.
Yeah.
After they broke up. So they broke up, obviously. And in 1980, again, this album was really getting a lot of airplay, and I don't even think John did any interviews for it. So on December 8th, 1980, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, John Lennon is approached by a kid named Mark David Chapman, who asks for his autograph. He's got a copy of Double Fantasy. John, will you sign this for me? Sure. Signs the record. And they go to this recording studio for a recording session at a place called the Record Plant. A lot of people recorded there. After the session, John and Yoko returned to the Dakota. They were going to do other things, other plans, but John said he wanted to be home to see Sean, his son, before he went to sleep. Had he not made that decision, he wouldn't have been shot probably. So at 11:15, they walk in towards the. I'm sorry, 10:50. The limousine arrives back at the Dakota. Chapman is waiting, shoots John Lennon, and John, of course, dies. Now, everybody finds out about things in different ways, Ken. And John Lennon, for me, was a little unconventional because I was watching Monday Night Football. I was a huge football fan back then because football was different back then, right, Ken?
Yeah.
It was the Miami Dolphins and the New England Patriots. And during that game, Howard Cosell told the nation who was watching Monday Night Football about what happened.
Remember, this is just a football game, no matter who wins or loses. An unspeakable tragedy confirmed to us by ABC News in New York City. John Lennon, outside of his apartment building on the west side of New York City, the most famous perhaps of all of the Beatles, shot twice in the back, rushed to Roosevelt Hospital, dead on arrival.
So people heard that, and they were like, Howard, why, dead on arrival. That's the way Howard Cosell talked. And do you think that Howard Cosell did that to make fun of John Lennon or to, not really appreciate the gravity of the situation? Did you know that Howard Cosell and John Lennon were great friends?
No, I did not know that.
And Peter Boyle, actor Peter Boyle, he was the Frankenstein monster in Young Frankenstein, and he was, I believe, Raymond's father, and Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yes.
He was John Lennon's best man.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
How about that?
Wow.
So I found out about John Lennon watching Monday Night Football with Howard Cosell, taken to Roosevelt Hospital, dead on arrival. And that's the way we'll close up Porcelli's Deli with one of the greatest songs that John Lennon ever wrote, In My Life, on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL.
There are places I remember all my life, though some have changed, some forever, not for better. Some have gone, and some remain. All these places have their moments with lovers and friends I still can recall. Some are dead and some are living. In my life, I've loved them all.
Hi, I'm Buddy. Can I get you? See, steaks. Oh, the Douglas Sirk steaks. Have that. How do you want that cooked? Burnt to a crisp or bloody as hell? Bloody as hell, and oh yeah, look at this. Vanilla Coke. What about you, Peggy Sue?
I'll have the Durward Kirby burger, bloody, and a $5 shake.
How do you want that shake? Martin and Lewis or Amos and Andy?
Martin and Lewis.
Think about them. In my life, I love you more.
The Vic Porcelli Show. Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
Like Ferguson in the morning, we keep it on throughout the day, whether it's local, national, or something big that's happening overseas.
News, analysis, and opinion.
St. Louis is #1 for conservative talk.
News Talk STL.
Simply Health with Dr. Brian Deloney.
Are you living from faith or fear? On this week's show, I'm joined by best-selling author and business coach Sean Gwaltney to talk God, health, legacy, and how to stop burning out and start living on purpose. Don't miss it.
Simply Health, Saturdays at noon on News Talk STL. To find out more about Simply Health Integrated Medical, log on to simplyhealthintegrated.com.
Public schools, like public libraries, should be free and open to all.
Open enrollment allows parents to choose the school that's the best fit for their children. Maybe another school has a wider curriculum, is bigger or smaller. Maybe a kid is being bullied and would be more comfortable at another school. 75% of parents favor open enrollment. Open enrollment programs now exist in 43 states, and Missouri should join them. Our next door neighbor, Kansas, has one of the strongest open enrollment policies in the nation. Kansas parents are trusted with choices and options, while Missouri parents must move out of their home to change public schools. And it's a trend. Nationwide, the percentage of students going to their chosen public school has steadily increased. Assigning kids to schools based on their zip code is the old way. Open enrollment is a better way. Learn more at showmeinstitute.org. The Show Me Minute has been brought to you by Show Me Institute and Show Me Opportunity.
Fox News commentary with Jesse Waters next.
I'm alpine skier Michaela Schifrin. I've won the most World Cup ski races in history. But what does success mean to me? Success means discipline. It's teamwork. It's the drive and passion inside of us. And it's why Stifel is one of the fastest growing global wealth management firms in the country. If you're looking for success, surround yourself with the people who will get you there. If you're an advisor or investor, choose Stifel, where success meets success.
Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated. Member SIPC and
No indication of future results. Investing involves risk. Consult a financial advisor before making any investment decisions.
Here's Jesse Waters.
Trump, he wants to make sure our house is in order. And that includes cleaning up the backyard. Biden left it a mess. The cartels are squatting on the porch. The Secretary of War is hearing his orders loud and clear. The mission's on. 11 U.S. warships in the Caribbean and 15,000 troops are waiting for the call. Maduro in Venezuela knows exactly what's coming because Trump's telling him. Trump told him, leave or else. Maduro has three options: leave with your life, stay and risk it, or go underground and run a shadow government from the rainforest. Reports say the socialist dictator is preparing his forces for guerrilla warfare. Or Maduro's men might mutiny. Their military is small and inexperienced, and Russia's closed up their war chest. Trump's fighting terrorism, narco-terrorism. He's not starting a war. The war on drugs has been going on since the 80s. He's just the first president not to surrender.
For more commentary like this, go to foxnewspodcast.com. Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019.
I'm Newt Gingrich, and you're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show on NewstalkSTL.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, very much. Good morning. I'm Vic Porcelli. That over there is the great Ken Williams. And our next guest, former Congressman, currently Senior Fellow for Political Statesmanship with the David Horowitz Freedom Center, former Representative Louie Gohmert. Representative, a privilege to have you on the show. How are you?
Well, as far as I know, I'm fine, Vic. Great talking with you.
Be sure you check on that and get back to us before the end of the interview. Make sure you're okay. All right, look, this guy, Jack Smith, I swear, Ken will testify for me in a court of law.
Yep.
When I first saw his face, I said, I don't like his face. I don't trust this guy. And I was right.
Yeah. Well, there is something there, isn't there? Sometimes you can just look at people. And actually, when I was a judge for a decade, I got to where I could just look at people and see them talking. And he has that look like, there's something not right, not honest, not honorable. But I tell you, though, when I got to Washington and got to Congress, I would see people and I would know they were lying. And there's some world-class liars in Congress. And I would know they were lying, and I'm going, wow, there's no tells, there's no ticks, there's no nothing. These guys are really, really good at lying. But Jack Smith, yeah, you're right. There's just a look there that tells you there's something not right here.
I played a lot of poker in my life. I played a lot of poker in my life, and ask Ken, I got the tells on a lot of these people, right, Ken?
Oh, absolutely. And Congressman, the thing is about today's people who are representing the United States, they get up on the floor of the House or the Senate, and they say things that it's so outrageous sometimes. I mean, Vic and I think we spend half of our day every day just debunking the lies that come from primarily the left. I mean, it's amazing what they can get away with on the floor of Congress.
It's a bunch of crap, Congressman.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, it is incredible. And of course, what you say on the House floor or in committee you can't be sued for. You know, you've got immunity, and that has encouraged people to say some of the most outrageous things in the world. But with Jack Smith, though, to go beyond anything anybody had ever done, way beyond Watergate, this scandal really should rock the nation, that he was going after all of these records, not even bothering to get a warrant where you have probable cause and you got protections of Fourth Amendment. And beyond that, you know, and it's not one of these deals where Congress thinks they're above the law. No, there's constitutional protection for congressional privilege, for constituent information that's provided to us, whistleblower information that comes to us that allows us to have better oversight over the FBI. And in fact, Jim Jordan and I were talking about FBI agents that were contacting us directly back during this very time that they were seizing our records. And so anyway, I'd heard, you know, they've gotten some senators, a few days of records there, and Jim Jordan had gotten the Judiciary Committee in the House to check on his and found that out. But then a few weeks ago, you know, Grassley's investigators contacted me and said, "Man, you're in the middle of this too." And it wasn't for a few days. It's at least over 2 months and counting. So Tom Fitton's Judicial Watch is doing a deeper dive. Sean Donegan, there's lawyers. They're going to do a deeper dive, go to court. We're going to get to the bottom of just how deep this went. But I'm telling you, if Donald Trump had not persisted through the lawfare, the criminal cases, through the assassination attempts, the debanking for a guy that was in real estate, that's a pretty big blow. Going after his family, his friends, everybody, and continued to persist until he won this election. If he had not persisted, then we'd be looking at a one-party country, because they would be going after all of us. They were using the old Stalinist thing, show me the man and we'll figure out a crime we can charge him with.
Yep.
They were going that deep with this kind of stuff.
Our guest is former Congressman, currently Senior Fellow for Political Statesmanship with the David Horowitz Freedom Center, the great Louie Gohmert. Now, why did Jack Smith do this? Why, not just him, why do these liberals and Democrats go after Trump and think everybody's on their side? Representative, I call it elitist egocentrism. I hate Trump. Everybody hates Trump.
Well, they knew that the people whose records they were gathering, they didn't hate Trump. These are people that they were going to gather our records and figure out a way to squelch us. So it would put fear in anybody, you know, standing up and saying anything. And what the people that were still willing to talk after January 6th and all the onslaught that happened from the DOJ after January 6ers, this was going to put the finishing touch on anybody that was willing to say, no, I still support Donald Trump.
Yeah.
This was going to make us a one-party country, and that party was moving and had moved Marxist, basically.
So Kenny and I get very confused. The first thing we heard about that there was a breakthrough in the pipe bomb story. We'll get back to Arctic Frost in a second.
Yep.
But, you know, it was an exact DNA match of a female Capitol Police officer. Now it's some anarchist nut who doesn't have a name yet from Virginia. I mean, my God, can't we get the truth out of anybody anymore?
Well, I know I'm confused by that as well. And you know, the video, okay, well, maybe she walks like a woman. Who knows? But it is confusing, and it's been deeply troublesome to get these mixed messages out of our own Justice Department. So I don't get it. I don't know. But one thing we know is we weren't getting any answers out of the Biden administration, nothing you could trust.
So let's get back to Arctic Frost. Jack Smith has your phone calls, you know, a lot of Republican phone calls recorded, what time they called, how long they were on the phone. I mean, it was like really up your stuff. And
yeah.
Don't you cuss on this here radio.
Almost cussed on this here radio, but I didn't. So what, I mean, what do you think about it? How illegal was it?
Well, it was very illegal, and the fact is they should not have been able to get that without a warrant. But what they did is they went to a grand jury, and having been a prosecutor and a felony judge for years, I handled grand juries. And, you know, there is a place for grand jury subpoenas, but not like this, because you do have this constitutional congressional privilege to protect constituent information, protect whistleblower information that's provided to members of Congress, so we can have proper oversight over the DOJ, over the FBI. And Jim Jordan and I we were out there talking about whistleblowers from the FBI that were contacting us at the very time they were grabbing our records. So you talk about a chilling effect on FBI whistleblowers, but they didn't have probable cause for anything. They go before the grand jury, and I would doubt that they bothered to put on any evidence whatsoever. They bring in reams of paper and say, and I bet you this is what they did. It's very unethical. Look, we just need to gather all this evidence. You just sign here and we'll go gather all this evidence. But then they went before a judge, we were told Boasberg, which is no judge at all, and they got an NDO, a non-disclosure order, and that's how we know he was involved. It wasn't just a grand jury signing off on it. And fortunately, some of the providers like AT&T and others said, wait, this really should be a warrant with probable cause and all that. But one of my providers, Verizon, just said, oh, yeah, you want all of Gohmert's records? Here you go. Here they all are. So that ought to concern a lot of people that have Verizon. So I'll be switching soon. So anyway, but the Fourth Amendment should have required probable cause that a crime was committed and we were involved. But they got hundreds and hundreds of names and organizations, and they were all Republicans. But to get members of Congress and the senators, we're not above the law, but the law protects a lot of that information, and they just scooped it up anyway. And there was no judge that was protecting it. And I tell you, this is something else. Daniel Greenfield with the David Horowitz Freedom Center, some weeks back, he said, Louie, you know, you've inspired this, but we're going to start a judicial accountability project. We're going to gather information, dossiers on all these judges that are really out of line, really engaging in bad behavior, and we'll submit it to the judiciary committees of the two houses. Because I've been saying for years, look, Article 3, Section 1 is different from what's required to remove executives. Everybody's familiar with treason, bribery, high crimes, and misdemeanors to impeach somebody. And that's what we've used to remove judges in the past. But if you look at Article 3, Section 1 for judges, it says they only sit during their good behavior. And Boasberg has not been sitting during good behavior. This guy's a bad actor, and he needs to be removed. And so I think we get that information, and if we can get the judiciary committees to bring them in and question them, subpoena the judges, have them come in and bear down on them about their bad behavior, and then impeach people that are engaged in bad behavior because of bad behavior. And think about it, guys. You know, the founders were so brilliant. For impeachment of executives, don't you think they were going, yeah, they're probably going to elect some real yahoos. You know, let's say to remove them, you got to commit a crime. But for judges, we expect more. let's let them remove a judge if they're just acting with bad behavior. Doesn't that make sense?
Yeah, it should be a much higher bar, Congressman Gohmert. And we had a conversation earlier with a communications director, Eric Burlison's communications director, Nate, and we were saying, okay, but there needs to be a payoff. You got MAGA patriots, conservatives right now that have been sticking behind President Trump and the administration and other Republicans in Congress, and now we need some sort of payoff. So we understand that they're doing all these investigations or anything, but don't you think there should be something happening on the other end of it, like an indictment or convictions coming up?
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. If you don't have that, then there is no consequences. And if there are no consequences, then it's just going to get worse. And the minute President Trump is not in office, it's going to go back and it'll just get worse and worse. This Arctic frost is worse than any scandal that we've ever had before, worse than Watergate. And if there's nobody that's indicted and goes to prison, then it will just be an all-out takeover next time, criminal takeover next time. Somebody has got to go to prison for criminality. And if the criminal code is not enforced under this administration, then we're done for. We just got a little reprieve here, and then it goes back to being just railroaded by a criminal DOJ.
All right. You know what? Great to have you on, Representative, former Congressman, current senior fellow for political statesmanship with the David Horowitz Freedom Center. And please excuse me, I should have thanked you for serving at the beginning of this interview, and I apologize for that. So thank you so much for being with us. And hey, we'd love to have you back if you have time.
Love to be back with you guys anytime. You're good thinkers.
Write that down. He said he'd love to come back.
I'm writing it down right now.
Thank you, Congressman. We appreciate it.
Great being with you. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
And Daniel Greenfield was the one who tipped them off. The Sultan Kanish.
The Sultan Kanish. We had him on recently.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
And Karen Kataline loves the Sultan Kanish.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
All right. So, you know what, Ken? First of all, I didn't realize that he was in Congress all the way up to 20 since we've been doing the show. He's left since we've been doing the show.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I thought he was gone longer than that. So that's good. He's been married since 1978 to his wife, Kathy. I think that's great.
How dare he?
How dare he not get divorced?
Love the sanctity of marriage.
That's right. How dare he like the sanctity of marriage? So, boy, great to have the Congressman on.
It really is. It's so cool.
I used to love watching him do, oh, my God, committee hearings. Oh,
I got to tell, I told Vic off the mic, I said, I'm fanboying a little bit. This guy,
how do you not?
He nails them, man.
That's all I do is fangirl. Fanboy.
Fangirl.
Hey, Nils Grevillius is going to join us again. I guess he has a good time with us.
Yeah.
He's next, right after the news on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL, number one for live and local conservative talk and fangirls.
Whoosh.
Hi, I'm Dr. Alan Link, owner of the Dental Link. You've heard ads about teeth in a day, but did you know that you'll be chewing on plastic, acrylic teeth? Here at the Dental Link, we can give you porcelain crown and bridge teeth utilizing mini dental implants that function much more like real teeth at about half the cost. Plus, mini dental implants are less invasive, less painful, and your recovery time is much shorter. Give us a call at 314-794-6464 or simply visit us today at thedentallink.com.
I'm Dr. TJ, owner of the Institute of Natural Health, co-owner of Optimal Nutraceuticals, and the host of Wellness One. Wellness One is designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you common sense science-based information regarding health and wellness. On the show, we discuss topics like thyroid health, gut health, hormone optimization, and many others. Our show airs Saturdays at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. and Sundays at 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. right here on NewstalkSTL. And you can visit us at inhstl.com. That's inhstl.com.
KLGY HD3 Clayton, K270BW Belfast, KNBS Bowling Green. This is News Talk STL at 101.9, 94.1, and always streaming at NewstalkSTL.com.
Breaking news at Town Hall. I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. Federal agents have made a breakthrough in the 2021 pipe bomb case. The FBI confirms the suspect is in custody nearly 5 years after explosive devices were planted outside the Democrat and Republican National Committee offices that happened the night before the Capitol riot. U.S. applications for unemployment benefits fell to their lowest levels in more than 3 years last week. The number of Americans who applied for jobless benefits down to 191,000 from the previous week's 218,000. That's according to the latest figures out today from the Labor Department. An Air Force fighter jet crashed in the Southern California desert yesterday. The pilot did manage to eject safely.
Military officials say a fighter jet with the Air Force's Thunderbirds demonstration squadron has crashed in the Southern California desert. The pilot managed to eject safely and is being treated for non-life-threatening injuries. The F-16C Fighting Falcon went down during a training mission Wednesday morning over controlled airspace.
That is Mike Hempen, who reports that fire crews did manage to respond to the crash site near Trona, about 180 miles north of Los Angeles in the Mojave Desert. New fuel standards aim to make life easier for car makers and cheaper for car buyers.
The administration has announced plans to roll back fuel economy standards for light-duty vehicles.
It was ridiculous, very expensive. It put tremendous upward pressure on car prices.
The transportation secretary said the Biden-era rules aimed at limiting air pollution were completely unattainable for automakers. If the plan is approved, new vehicles would need to average roughly 34 miles per gallon instead of 50. Greg Clugston, Washington.
On Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrial Average right now down by about 10 points. The high-tech NASDAQ is up 54. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy. In 2011, I founded Wesley Financial Group with one goal in mind, to help honest folks out of their timeshares permanently. Today, I run Wesley with my two sons, a real family business, treating every client and every employee like we'd want our own family treated. That philosophy has helped us grow into the largest, most trusted timeshare cancellation company in the United States. Fortune magazine even recognized us as one of the best places to work. Why? Because we genuinely care. In fact, some of our former clients were so moved by their experience working with us, they joined our team so they could help others to timeshare freedom. If you're stuck in a timeshare, give us a call. Let our family help your family.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit. 800-226-5454. That's 800-226-5454. 800-226-5454.
This hour of News Talk STL is brought to you by Stifel, serving investors for over 130 years. Contact your Stifel financial advisor at stifel.com. That's STIFEL.com.
Hi, I'm Lieutenant Governor David Wassinger. As Christmas approaches, I want to encourage you to support Missouri businesses this holiday season. When you're out shopping for the perfect gift, please stop by a local store and choose something made right here in the Show Me State. Missouri businesses are the backbone of our communities, and supporting them is a priority for me. To find Missouri-made goods and retailers near you, please visit buymissouri.net. Merry Christmas, and please remember to buy Missouri.
Paid for by the Office of Lieutenant Governor David Wassinger.
Hello, Kirk Hilsing here, Chairman of the Republican Party for the City of St. Louis. We complain about dark, out-of-state money being used to influence Missouri politics, and we actively have that going on right now. Out-of-state interests from as far as Ohio and Michigan are collecting signatures to bypass what your state legislators have done this summer. We request you decline to sign these petitions. For more information, see us at stl-gop.com.
Paid for by St. Louis City Republican PAC, Curtis Farber, Treasurer.
Hey, it's Susie Moore. If new flooring makes you think hassle, think again, because Michael's Flooring is changing the game. For over 30 years, Michael's has been locally owned and trusted for quality, variety, and amazing service. Whether it's carpet, hardwood, laminate, luxury vinyl, or ceramic tile, their expert team makes installing new floors exciting, not stressful. That's why customers keep coming back. Visit Michael's Flooring at St. Peter's, Starting Prairie, Creve Coeur, or online at igotfloored.com. That's igotfloored.com.
Need promotional products or apparel for your business? Look no further than Blue Sky Promotions. This woman-owned, locally operated company in Bridgeton specializes in anything and everything promotional. From branded apparel and uniforms to custom giveaways and marketing materials, Blue Sky Promotions has you covered. Whether you're looking to stand out at a trade show, build brand awareness, or reward your employees, Blue Sky Promotions has the solutions you need. Visit blueskypromotions.com or call 314-739-3531.
Men and women on your gift list will be truly surprised with a gift card from Lit Cigar Lounge, a box of premium cigars, powerful lighter, or an ashtray that looks like a piece of art. You choose a specific gift or give them a Lit Cigar gift card. Don't forget you're just doors away from another gift card from Napoli Brothers Pizza and Pasta. You choose the amount, they choose to use it at any of the Napoli locations. There, your shopping is done.
This hour, the Vic Porcelli Show, brought to you by the Trolley Stop Bakery, the official bakery of the Vic Porcelli Show. Vic Porcelli.
Come on, you're Italian. You understand.
Every day is a busy day all of a sudden.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
Tough and smart, and I love Italian, so, he's definitely Italian.
At least I have this show to come and talk about it and let some stuff up.
What kind of a show are you guys putting on here today?
The Vic Porcelli Show.
From New Jersey to Baldwin, Missouri, two behind the microphone, taking the whoosh to the radical left and the putrid swamp. You're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show. Here he is, Vic Porcelli.
All right. Hour number 3 of our 3-hour tour. And it kicks off with one of our favorites, Nils Grevillius, author of The Last Lawman. You can pre-order that now. We'll give you that detail at the end. Veteran, Nils, welcome back. Thanks for serving. How you been, man?
I'm fantastic. Vic, I want to tell you and your audience, no one has to thank me for serving this country. It was a distinct privilege, and I'd do it all over again.
But I never did it. So I feel like it's my obligation to thank you for it. Is that okay?
Well, I'm very pleased. Tell me how you are in Missouri today.
Well, we're good. It's colder than it's cold.
It's cold.
It's cold here. Don't like that too much, but we're doing good. We got a Republican governor. We're happy. All right. So let's talk about this guy. I'm going to mess up the name, but I'll give it a shot. Okay. Ramanullah Lakanway, who killed one National Guardsman, critically injured another.
Good try, Vic.
I gave it a shot, Ken. What do you want from me?
No, you did. You did.
Pleaded not guilty. Oh, no. Yeah. Well, I mean, what's going to happen with this guy?
Well, he's represented by Democrat lawyers, and he'll be tried in D.C. So spin the roulette wheel and let's find out. No, I think he's going to wind up doing some serious prison time here unless he takes his own life. I don't think that he will take his own life, though. I think he's proud of what he did. He got radicalized at some point, maybe after he came in this country. What if those social welfare agencies, which are supposed to be resettling Afghani paramilitaries in this country, are actually radicalizing them?
He doesn't have to take his own life. I'm sure there are plenty of people who do it for him. Ken, would you do it for him?
What's that?
Well,
so he doesn't have to take his own life.
Oh, yeah.
You help him out on that? I'd help him out.
We could help him.
Well, let me tell you something. He's not the type who'd drop his soap in the shower, but you never know what could happen.
Fantastic. All right. So, the thing is,
I'm operating in San Francisco. If I drop my car keys, I kick them all the way to Oakland before I pick them up. But
oh my God, that is awesome, Nils. That is absolutely awesome. We love dirty humor like that. Okay, so let's get back to stop screwing around, Nils. Let's get serious here, okay? Because
I'm very serious. Yes.
I'm sick of this. Okay, I'm sick of people who are radicalized, whether they were radicalized here or somewhere else. I'm sick of them in our country. I'm sick of the Somalis. I'm sick of Ilhan Omar. I'm sick of them all. I mean, it never used to be like this when you and I were kids.
Well, that's precisely correct. The Democrats found some new toys to play with. After they'd used up their black people, their black constituency, whom they've turned out. And they'll rapidly grow tired of their Latino constituency, especially as more and more of them vote a different way. They switched to mutant teenagers with purple hair who think that they're female when they're male. That will lose its power to change how they feel and what they do. Right. So they'll move on to something else. you'll notice that Raggedy Ann, Jen Psaki the other day protested that all of these people were thoroughly vetted by the Biden administration before they were admitted. All 21,000 of them in 2 weeks were completely vetted, Mr. Porcelli.
Yes.
They were vetted by military intelligence for their suitability as paramilitaries serving alongside American forces in
Wow.
Afghanistan.
Oh.
They weren't vetted for their suitability for resettlement in suburban America.
But see, that's a problem we always have, Nils, is that we talk about how they had the secure border, and in reality, that it was working for them. They were actually processing people faster due to this, what their preferences were. And now the problem we have is that they say they're fully vetted, and they're not vetted. None of these people were.
That's precisely correct. You can't vet people from a country that doesn't maintain records. You don't even know who you're working with.
Right.
All right.
This is something I used to do in counterintelligence as a soldier.
A couple of things I want to get to here. And I bring this guy up a lot, maybe too much, but the pseudo assimilation by Islamists, right? And I always bring up Nidal Hassan, who made it all the way to major, the rank of major in the U.S. Army, and then the Allah Akbar'd the place at Fort Hood and killed 13 service people. You don't know what people are thinking at any time if they're Islamic.
Well, I'm gonna go out on a limb here, Vic. There've been a lot of these guys who've turned out to be pretty good soldiers, pretty good citizens.
Yes.
Here's the problem. It's like buying a bag of peanut M&Ms, and 2 of them are laced with fentanyl. They're going to kill you and your child, and you don't know which 2 they are, right?
Yeah. I've heard that analogy before. Yeah.
That's a great analogy.
All right. So another thing you were talking about, and you're absolutely right, how the Democrats have used black people, and we always say on this show, they're not going to help you. They don't even like you. And a black guy himself, Malcolm X, said the biggest enemy of black people is the white liberal. And they didn't listen to a leader in their own race.
No. And they like to pretend as if somebody other than Nation of Islam assassinated Malcolm X. It's a great big mystery as far as they're concerned. The same way they want to drive Oswald's getaway car and pretend an American communist didn't marry a war hero American president. Malcolm X was correct. If you ever really want to trigger some liberals, and when they're in one of their gun control discussions about military-style assault weapons, there's a great photo of Malcolm X peering behind a curtain while holding an M2 carbine in New York City, of all places. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Why would Malcolm X need an M2 carbine in New York City to protect himself from the hard left and from their Islamic allies? That's why.
Now, today's people don't know that. Let's remind everybody, we're talking to one of our faves, Nils Grevillius, from the Grevillius Detective Services, and he's got a new book called The Last Lawman. We'll let you know how to pre-order that coming up here in just a bit. So people today, Nils, they think, especially the liberals, they think they're so self-righteous and their way is the best way, and they just hate Donald Trump. So everybody must hate Donald Trump. That's the elitist egocentrism I like to talk about. And people are falling for it. There are people in this country, Nils, who don't know that there was $1 billion scam of Ken, what's the word? Not extortion, embezzlement,
welfare
scam,
fraud.
Welfare fraud, and they don't even know it because ABC, CBS, NBC never dedicated 1 second to that story.
Well, that's called driving the getaway car, Mr. Porcelli. If you omit it from coverage, it never really occurred now, did it?
Lying by omission, Ken always says.
Right. Okay. So fake news is more often faked in context than it is in actual text. And what I mean by that is if you overamplify one story and ignore another one in context, you have fake news.
That's totally
good logic.
Totally true. Yeah.
That's great logic. I don't know.
And Nils, they do it every day. We monitor the Today Show and Good Morning America, for example. And today they were really focusing heavily on how bad Pete Hegseth is as the Department of War director, right? So they focus on that, but they don't talk about the billions of dollars that are being lost in Minneapolis right now.
Well, of course not. You notice that they're not going to concentrate on Lloyd Austin with his prostate cancer and his MOP 4-level protective suit that he had to wear all during the COVID fiasco. They're not going to talk about any of that. And certainly not going to talk about Brian Cole, who is the suspect arrested by the FBI in the J6 bombing. They're not going to talk about him.
Yep. Lloyd Austin, who...
And why aren't they going to talk about him? Well, there's an excellent chance he could be connected to Antifa.
Yeah.
He was a Northern Virginia area bail bondsman. Who do you think Northern Virginia bondsmen bail out most frequently? Probably anarchist and Marxist protesters in D.C., right?
Wow.
The things, Nils, that I don't understand in this country, how they want to say that Donald Trump is a racist and everything. And Lloyd Austin, President Biden used to refer to him as, the black guy.
Right.
Because he couldn't think of his name. First of all, he's an idiot. Second of all, the black guy. Nothing racist about that, right?
Right.
Right.
Well,
That's all I'm
saying. Didn't Brandon once call the Secretary of Health and Human Services Javier Baccaria?
Right.
I think Baccaria is running for governor of California now, and somebody's going to confuse him with a trip to the free clinic after a bad weekend.
Oh my God! Back to San Francisco jokes. This is great.
That's great.
But that's the thing, I guess, is they have the nerve, the news too, right? The mainstream media. Oh, Donald Trump is not mental. He doesn't have the mental acuity to be president. Really? But you guys stuck up for Joe Biden
for 4 years?
What are we kidding?
Well, he's survived every single thing they've thrown at him, including rifle bullets.
No kidding.
Hey,
what do you know about that, by the way? Let's talk about the assassination attempt. What do you know about that? Anything that we should know?
Well, if you remember, Chris Wray said there was no indicator of what motivated Crooks and that he had no profile. They were suppressing it because his profile indicated he went from being a Trump supporter to being wildly against Trump because of his own orientation. He became a furry and involved in all the same sort of bizarre perversion that Tyler Robinson's boyfriend was involved in.
Tyler Robinson, who shot Charlie Kirk. So
that is correct.
I just, I don't know. I'm just so sick of them. I swear to God, if I could just say, okay, you guys get out of the country, or let's split the country up. Let's have the United States of conservatives and the United States of liberals, and let's see who's got the most.
So you're going to abandon me deep within enemy-held territory?
Yeah.
You're
welcome here. Why do you have to be out there anyway? They're liberal.
It's beautiful. That's right.
No, but it's falling apart. Take my house, right?
Yeah.
If you took my house and put it into California, it'd be a $5 million house.
Oh yeah.
And trust me, it's not worth that right now.
So, well, but Porcelli, right now, you said it yourself. It's colder than a well-digger's butt in St. Louis. Okay, so I'm going to stay here for the moment.
All right. You can be our operative. All right. You can be our underground operative. All right. So a couple of things. Go ahead.
I like St. Louis baseball, and maybe I'll visit you boys over the summer if you can promise to behave.
Well, yeah, we promised that.
I guarantee you, if you come into the studio, it'll be fun. You'll have a good time.
Oh my God, Nils, we would love to have you in here.
Well, let's do it. The book is out in June of 2026. The Last Lawman. You can order it on Amazon. Pre-order it. It's my true-to-life memoir as a private detective running and gunning on the streets of Los Angeles for 30 years. My time in the saddle as a Pinkerton detective before that. I'm always standing by to do bad things to bad people for hire, but not for sale.
All right.
Oh, that's good.
You don't have anything on me, right?
Well, you're rather unlike most of the people here in Los Angeles, Mr. Porcelli. You're not on the make, on the take, and half baked. No.
And I shall not drop the soap. I will kick the keys to Oakland like you do when leaving San Francisco. Our great friend, Nils Grevillius. Boy, when I heard you were going to be on with us today, I got very excited. We always love talking to you. The Last Lawman, June of 2026, and the Grevillius Detective Services is his company. Nils, thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate you greatly.
Thank you for suffering me. Have a lovely Christmas if I don't talk to you before then.
You got it. You got it.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to you, Nils.
Thank you.
There's something gets me nervous. when he says, Mr. Porcelli.
Yeah, like he looked at a piece of paper.
I have your file right here.
Victor, is it Victor Porcelli? Alex? Victor?
Porcelli or Porcelli? I see that you have been in a little bit of trouble.
You know what I wanted so badly for him to say something like a line out of Saturday Night Live with Alex. Or remember someone who played. It was the oh my goodness! It was the skit with Jeopardy. It was Jeopardy.
Oh, Sean Connery.
Sean Connery. Yes. Yeah. He played Sean Connery.
Right. It's not what your mother said last night.
Right. If he comes to this station next year, he's doing a bunch of liners for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
A bunch.
Yeah.
I'll take the Vic Porcelli Show for $1,000, Alex.
That's not what your mother said last night, Trebek. You know, I saw Darrell Hammond. My wife and I went to go see him at Funny Bone years ago. And he was talking about that. And he said there were even some that they wouldn't let us use on the show that were too dirty, I guess.
Right.
And one of them was, I could have been your father, Trebek, but the dog bit me over the fence. That's not what your mother said last night. Okay, stocking stuffer. I love the stocking stuffer thing that we do every Christmas.
Yes.
Let's talk about that next. Easiest way to win right here, right?
The easiest in radio, period.
Huh. All right, that's next. Jay Giles Band. You got Jay Giles Band. Give it to me here from Bloodshot. I have at home the original Bloodshot album by the Jay Giles Band, which is red. It's all red.
What are you showing off?
Is that okay?
Yeah, I guess a little bit.
All right. Stick around. 1019-94.1 NewstalkSTL. Welcome home.
Vic and Ken.
They don't know what the they're doing.
The Vic Porcelli Show on 1019 and 94.1 News Talk STL.
Whoosh.
I think we should be able to have a civil conversation.
The news and talk that matters to St. Louis.
This conversation has completely made me crazy.
This is complete insanity.
News Talk STL.
Is your retirement income at risk if you or your spouse needs nursing home or in-home care? Hi, I'm Eric Robert, Director of Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money, Saturday mornings at 9 on News Talk STL 1019. The cost of long-term care is one of the biggest risks in retirement planning. For many retirees, a single nursing home stay can cause a significant reduction in assets that can permanently reduce your retirement income. Fortunately, there are affordable and flexible options available today that can help you manage the cost of long-term care. Our team can help you address the risks relevant to your retirement, including long-term care. To schedule your free retirement plan consultation, go to clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com, or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NYSE.
Now, the Free Market Minute, brought to you by the Hammond Institute for Free Enterprise at Lindenwood University.
Hey, it's Mike Ferguson from The Morning Show. I am here with Dr. Grant Black. And Grant, entrepreneurship, it's one of those buzzwords we hear a lot about, but is entrepreneurship really important to the economy?
It definitely is. Entrepreneurship is a consistent contributor to economic growth. It creates new products and services that people value. It creates the new businesses that provide them. It fosters innovation that improves productivity, and it increases beneficial competition. It generates jobs, income, wealth mobility, and even tax revenues that all support and enhance communities. Entrepreneurship matters, so we need to help it thrive in all our communities.
The John W. Hammond Institute for Free Enterprise at Lindenwood University fosters and examines market-oriented approaches to economic and social issues. To learn more, visit hammondinstitute.org.
I think you're a little confused.
News, analysis, opinion.
I've got something to say and I can't hold it any longer.
1019 and 94.1.
You won't hear the truth anywhere but here. News Talk STL.
News Talk STL. Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. You're listening to the Vic Porcelli Show. How dare you? Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL.
Ken.
Yeah, Vic.
Knock, knock.
Who's there? Who?
Werewolves in London. Come on, that's good, right?
You got me.
All right. All right, so listen. I don't know what to do first here, Ken. If we should do the breaking news here about the guy's name that did the pipe bomb, or talk about our stocking stuff for promotion.
Oh, let's do the breaking news first.
Oh my God. Okay.
I mean, well, it's breaking news, so
got it. Just gotta find it now. Oh my God, it's not on this. It's not on social media yet. It's only on actual Newsmax.
Oh,
that we watch.
Breaking news on News Talk STL.
Okay. Breaking news. Yes. I think we have a name. Apparently, you know what, Ken? To be honest, I don't know who to believe anymore. Because I'm sorry, I hate to keep harping on it. We were told the DNA on the pipe bomb was an exact DNA match, not a partial match, not a partial fingerprint. It was an exact DNA match of a Capitol Police woman.
And it aggravates me because we got so excited. We thought, oh, okay, finally we're going to get some payoff in this thing.
Well, we do, but it's not the person that they said it was.
Right, but it's just weird the way that all panned out.
Total weird.
It's not right. There's something unusual about it. Let's put it that way.
So the FBI arrested the suspect, a male living in Virginia, early this morning. Sources said the man in custody is 30-year-old Brian Cole Jr. of Woodbridge, Virginia. They discovered 2 pipe bombs near the Republican. Okay, we know all that.
And that's what Nils Grevillius was talking about when he mentioned that he was an anarchist. They said, I think he said that he was actually an anarchist.
Yeah, and he is. And okay, so Ken, the questions are, did they know this when they were telling us about the exact DNA match? Or was that just a deflection to go the other way? And I don't know why you would deflect anything. You got somebody.
Yeah, I don't understand it either. That's the confusion I have with the DOJ right now. They'll say something, and it's like, oh no, we pull that back. That's no longer true. Don't do that, because you're really alienating yourself, and you're really creating mistrust between the government and the people.
So my question is, did we ever have a name, an identifier on the female Washington, D.C. Capitol Police officer?
Well, we had her DNA.
But did they release her name? Because now they owe her more than an apology, I think, if they mentioned her name.
But apparently that person is now, as Nate put it, didn't he say that she's has a position in the CIA now?
Right.
How'd that happen?
Right.
So anyway,
you know what, Ken?
This has been breaking news on 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL.
You had to do that.
Listen, okay, I'm going to make a promise, okay? This will be the last time I mention John F. Kennedy this week.
That's not true, but okay.
This week. Monday.
All right. Today.
This morning. So why did I bring that up?
Okay, well, anyway.
Ken, it's getting worse, man.
No, it's not.
What were we just talking about? CIA.
Yeah.
John F. Kennedy wanted to splinter the CIA into 1,000 pieces. Now, why is that? Because they were just as crooked then as they are now.
Yeah.
The Bay of Pigs was a CIA mistake.
Yeah.
They killed Kennedy. Both of them, by the way. Both Kennedys. John and Robert. And who knows? Maybe MLK too.
Yes. I mean, I want, if I could sit across from Dan Bongino right now.
Yeah.
And just say, you get one question, ask the question. Okay, Dan, why is it? Okay, you were the one who was the most interested in the pipe bomber. In fact, I heard it first.
You're right.
You're the first person I ever heard about it.
Oh my God, you're absolutely
You were wondering about it, and then you're there. You actually, in the rare instance, you become an authority that can actually look into it from the top. And then you come out with DNA match on DC police officer. And then it's not only, that we found out that not to be true. Here's the real person. They ignored that person. They ignored that information and just went right to the jugular in this other guy.
You know what, Ken?
Why is that? I just want to know, Dan, why?
First
Why
of all,
is that?
Before all that, you have completely nailed that Bongino was the first to tell us about the pipe bombs, I believe.
While on the air.
With the Revolver guy, the guy from the Revolver.
Yes.
Which is a great site.
Yes.
And then he talked about it all the time. And then he got put, like you say, right in the middle of that. That's like putting me on the Warren Commission.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
He got the dream of a lifetime. So I'm not saying he screwed anything up.
No, I'm not saying
just
that.
saying that they gave us one set of information, and that information has just disappeared. And now it's a different anarchist from Virginia.
But Vic, he is now the deputy director of the FBI. I mean, when you have that title, we're going to hold your feet to the fire. I don't care what party you're from. I don't care where you're from.
Yeah.
He can answer the question, and I'm sure he will too. But I'm just saying that would be the first question I would ask him about.
Cash too.
And Cash Patel.
We'll hold his feet to the fire too, much as I love him.
Pam Bondi.
Cash Patel, much as I love him.
Right.
I don't dislike Pam Bondi. I don't know. I don't know what to think about Pam Bondi. I thought she was, from what I heard, the greatest AG the state of Florida ever had. Why did she change her tactics and her MO on how she solved crimes now when the stakes are a little higher?
Yeah, the only problem I have with Pam is that she goes over her skis a lot, and she shouldn't do that stuff because it gives people false hope. Like when they had all the influencers in front of the White House, and she's standing out there saying, "We've got the information on the Epstein files. Here they are in the folders. Here's all the influencers with their folders in their hands. They remember the binders they had,
sure,
and they're holding them up, and then it turns out there's nothing in there. Okay, what the hell? You can't do that to people. You can't do that, because then what happens, Vic? You got the left who says, see, they're just a bunch of liars. And in that instance, we know, well, yeah, why did you do that? Are you lying like they said? Because then there's a question. Suddenly there's a question from the left that actually makes sense, which is crazy. And
what's that question?
The question is, why did you do that? Who's in the file? Yeah, why didn't that happen? There's so many questions actually created from just that one instance, right?
Yeah.
And President Trump's in the middle of this, because I know, you know what? I would bet anything I own on the fact that he had nothing to do with anything about Epstein. It was negative.
Yeah, I agree. So, but what if let's make you AG.
Okay.
Let's make you the Attorney General of the United States.
Okay.
Whether it was Epstein files or whether it was pipe bomb guy, would you go and announce anything?
No.
Without talking to the president first?
Not at all. And in fact, what I would want to do, you know how when you and I talk, we consider the Vic Heads. We always think about the Vic Heads. Okay, when we say something, we're like, okay, how would they respond? What would they think? We need to think like them, basically.
Yeah.
As AG, I would be like, okay, I don't want people getting a bad interpretation of what I'm going to say here. And I don't want to go saying things that I'm going to regret later. So therefore, I'm going to investigate a little more. I'm going to find out from President Trump what he wants to do. I want to hold this information, in fact, Vic, until we find out that we can actually indict somebody or take someone to court, charge them, convict them.
Because you have to go a step further than having them testify at a committee hearing. I'm sorry.
I'm tired of that. I mean, okay, let's see it. That'd be a great jump off point. But what after that?
Mm-hmm. Nothing. Because Republicans don't do anything.
I know.
Period.
And it's really starting. I'll tell you what, I think they're misinterpreting what's going to happen in 2026 by doing this. They're going to have people I don't think true MAGA conservatives in any way, shape, or form are going to vote against Trump. I don't think so. I really don't believe any of that crap that you hear about that. What I do believe, though, there will be a percentage of them who don't show up.
That's what I was just going to say. So not vote against him, but not vote at all is as bad as not voting for him.
Right.
I mean, as voting against him. So
yeah.
26 midterms are just about a year away.
Yeah.
And when you look at the disarray and the lack of leadership in the Democrat Party, one would have to say, my God, we're going to clean up. Right?
Yeah.
Now, cars are going to cost $1,000 less right off the bat.
Right off the top, yeah.
You know, and then more from that, I'm sure.
Now, let's say that, though. Economically, I think we're going to start seeing things in 2026 where that will be a big factor. Because if you remember, the biggest factor in the Biden administration was the economy, stupid. You know what I'm saying?
Affordability right now is what they're talking about.
But I just had a conversation with Michelle, our main person out here. We were talking about how we're not going to lower prices artificially like Biden did with the reserve oil, for example. Oh, gas prices are down now because he sold off all of our reserves.
Stupid. They think we're stupid. Yeah.
But what would end up happening if President Trump did that, if he used that technique, it would be temporary, number one, and then prices would go back up above $5, maybe even more. With what he's doing, he's putting in infrastructure and regulation, deregulation, and all that other stuff to where it is actually going down and staying down. So this is where we're going to be, and we need to promote that. It needs to happen, and I think when people see that this next year, by November, I think that will definitely help the Republicans.
XL pipeline, I think, is a big part of that.
Yeah,
get that going, finish that up, let the oil flow from Canada right down to Texas. Then you watch the prices go down, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Drill, baby, drill in Anwar, fracking. You know.
Well, look at this. Okay, and then if it doesn't, then you can go to the corporations and say, okay, listen to me. You guys, the prices shot up as soon as your energy prices went up. Okay, the energy prices are down now. What's the problem? And then they can start talking to them about, look, if you're making record profits now on the people, help the American people a little bit here.
That's, I thought, was the beauty of Trump 1.0, because the oil companies made money. We paid $1.81, was it?
Yep.
$1.81 at the Circle K in Afton. Everybody was happy. And somehow that was a bad thing.
Yeah.
And Biden, he fell right into the trap. That's why I don't care about him. I don't feel sorry for him.
Oh, no.
And his little demented head, because the first thing he did when he got elected and took office was to undo everything that President Trump did, because Trump did it, so it must be bad.
Right.
And then inflation going up to 9%.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with the fact it was good or bad, whatever. It was Trump, TDS.
All right, listen. Help control the liberal population. Have your liberals spayed or neutered. They stole our stuff.
Yeah, I sent Vic a beam last night.
Pissed me off.
It said something about Democrats or something.
Well, it said help control the idiot population. Have your Democrats spayed or neutered.
Same thing.
Ours is better.
Yeah,
ours is better.
I like it better.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Who? Werewolves of London. Stocking stuff for time. Grand prize, $500 gift certificate from Newstetter's Jewelry. Wow, diamonds. Wow, diamonds.com.
Wow.
I see how flamboyant you are.
And you could be more if you go to Wow Diamonds.
Yes, my God, be flamboyant as you want. Gift cards from our great friend Maria and everybody at Havana 1961. Trolley Stop Bakery.
Oh, come on.
Hey. Say secret.
Yeah.
Diane Wood. Trolley Stop's going to make my wife's birthday cake.
Are you kidding?
Oh, can't wait. Can't wait.
Shh, don't tell anybody.
Don't tell anybody. Gift cards from Whistle Pig Outdoors. Gift cards from Gulf Shores Restaurant and Grill. They're coming in to see us tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah.
I love that. Small Cakes Cupcakery. I like that. Cupcakery.
Mm-hmm.
I like that word. Shirts, koozies, all from Newstalk STL. The conservative Christmas. We don't make you jump through a bunch of hoops. All you got to do is go to NewstalkSTL.com and enter. It's just that simple, Ken.
Hey, can you do me a favor? Stop banging on the table. You've been doing that a lot lately.
Just today or all week? Or
today?
all
It's
month?
weird. It's like every time you do it, I jump.
Since 2021?
There's a person in their car that's like going, oh my goodness.
I need something to bang on then. Give me a drum.
Or
Little
a chair,
drummer boy
maybe.
drum.
Bring that chair closer
Something
to
that's
you.
not going to make any noise. It's got to make some noise.
Okay.
All right, chat box is next. On 1019 and 94.1 News Talk STL, number one for live and local conservative talk. Werewolves of London.
Ow.
Watch us on our live stream using Rumble, Facebook, and Twitter. The Vic Porcelli
As
Show.
President Lincoln said,
What, do you have a cough due to cold?
Made in St. Louis for St. Louis. It's News Talk STL. Tim Jones and Chris Arps in the afternoon.
The Russia-Ukraine peace talks ended yesterday without a breakthrough. We'll ask Steve Lucci of Heritage if Putin is about to go to war with Europe.
Tim Jones and Chris Arps. Weekdays at 4 on News Talk STL.
With all of the celebrations, anniversaries, and holidays coming up over the next few months, where are you going to go to get that special something for the special people in your life? Newsteaders Fine Jewelers, of course. Newsteaders Fine Jewelers found 24/7 at wowdiamonds.com. Tim Jones here to tell you all about Newsteaders Fine Jewelers. Richard Newsteader and his team serving our region since 1961 with awesome, honest jewelry solutions. They've got everything from diamonds to wedding engagement rings, hand-engraved items, pendants, earrings, and so much more. You can find them 24/7, wowdiamonds.com. That's Newsteaders Fine Jewelers, wowdiamonds.com.
Tim Jones and Chris Arps in the afternoon.
Kate Monroe.
I was in the Marine Corps. I don't think people really understand that the National Guard is essentially your neighbors. I mean, this would be like your house is on fire and all the great men and women on your block that are capable of helping you put out said fire, you call the police on them and then let your house burn down. That is essentially what these cities are doing. Because Orange Man wants to send people to help us, we're going to go ahead and let it just burn down.
Tim Jones and Chris Arps. Weekdays at 4 on News Talk STL.
Remember those magical moments in Mom's kitchen? The heavenly aroma of fresh baked cookies? At Trolley Stop Bakery in Chesterfield's Forum Shopping Center, our co-op of talented bakers has been perfecting that homemade magic for 4 decades. From the gooeyest cookies in town to custom pies, cobblers, and cakes, everything's made from scratch, just like Mom and Grandma's recipes. Need that perfect corporate gift? We ship our famous cookies nationwide. The Trolley Stop Bakery, 67 Forum Shopping Center, or TrolleyStopBakery.com. Because some traditions are too sweet not to share.
Talk lines are open now at 314-912-1019. The Vic Porcelli Show.
Tough and smart, and I love Italian, so, he's definitely Italian.
On News Talk STL.
So let me get this straight. Jay Giles Band, Warren Zevon, and Elvis Costello all on the same show?
I know.
All in the same hour.
That's craziness.
Fantastic.
And no banging on the table.
I didn't.
I know.
Did I do it just then?
Nope.
Then shut up. All right, let's do it. Let's do the Chateau Boxo. Little Spanish lingo there for you. Rush would say it. So, Ken.
Yeah, Vic.
Barbara says, good morning, freedom fighting Vic Heads. And then she says, right, Barb says that. She goes, oh my God, Vic. Shen Yun is coming in March. Commercials are on the air already.
Shen Yun.
Shen Yun, woo. So stupid.
We got to tell those who don't know.
Okay, so when I was young, I'd buy tickets for a concert, right? Let's say the Stones. Let's say I got tickets for the Stones. Only the utmost security for my Rolling Stones tickets. I'd put them in the sun visor of my car on the passenger side.
Oh, wow.
And then I would pull down the visor and go, Stones, woo! Can't wait, woo! And then all these Shen Yun commercials. So I pictured some big old boy from South County. Shen Yun, woo! I don't think that happens.
So I hear Vic say, I got a story for you about this too. It's so weird because my wife and I would be sitting in the family room and she's on the couch and I'm on my chair. And then that commercial comes on. I go, Shen Yun. And she'd look at me every time the commercial comes on because there's going to be a lot of them. We know this. She didn't even hear it. She looks at me and waits because I have to say it. Shen Yun.
Radio wives are cursed. Like the Santa beard. Thank you, Barb. You didn't say anything about it being sexy. That's fine. Don't worry about me. I don't need to have a sexy beard. Ken,
Forget about it.
Ken, you're always good. What the hell?
Oh, thank you.
Whatever.
Who said that?
Barbara.
Oh.
You even said good morning, Barbara.
How you doing?
Oh, my God, sakes. Good morning.
I just wanted you to say it again.
Freedom fighters. Good morning, Santa Vic and Freedom Fighter Vic Heads. Thank you, Amy. Good morning, peeps. I don't know about you, but I don't believe that about the pipe bomber trying to throw us off again. I don't know what we can believe anymore. It's cold out here today, so stay warm. That's a great point. What if this is the distraction and the real pipe bomb person was the woman Capitol Police.
But that's my point from earlier, Vic. We're so discouraged by it. That could be the truth, but we don't know. And it's creating a lot of confusion. It really is.
Thanks, Janice. Great point.
Yeah.
Good morning, fam. Bam. Good morning, Kathleen. How you doing,
Good
baby?
morning, St. Boss.
Uno again. 101 straight up says Uno again.
Whoosh.
And then he says Vic's crushing on Cinderford. Yeah, I am. You know why? Because she said, yo, Vic, baby. That's a sexy.
That's not what you said.
Beard. It is.
Hey, how you doing?
Scary thought. Joe Biden, who's 74 years old, was seen shopping in a lingerie store in Nantucket. I just threw up in my mouth a little bit.
Say it with me. Sí, se puede.
Can never stream here before 9:05. All right. So can you explain the streaming? There's a show before us. Okay.
Yeah.
We have to wait in line to be on the
They
air.
have to disconnect and get off of it completely before I can even touch it.
Right.
And then after that, I come in. I've got 3 minutes, maybe 4, to get this whole show on the road.
Right.
And it takes it's I'm doing 4 minutes of work probably in about 2 minutes.
Right,
Maybe.
don't break your arm patting yourself on the back.
I'm not, but
I know. I'm just kidding. But just understand that it takes him a while to get it because there's another show on the air.
The only thing I can do is apologize and say every day and say that I'm going as fast as I can.
Think about what you'd think about at the time.
It's for Hunter. I don't know what's for Hunter.
I never thought Joe would be sticking up for me.
Ew. Jill going to
the lingerie store. I picture her walking in just.
Say it with me. Sí, se puede.
Now where's the lingerie?
You neuter a dog, it doesn't become a female.
Great point.
We used to call our mixed breed dogs Heinz 57 Mutts. Karen was talking about Heinz 57 today. He begged his brother's widow, why not his dad's? Again, throwing up in my mouth a little bit. Bagged and begged. LOL.
Yeah, without saying too much, though, that despicable family. Hunter not only did that to his brother, but the stuff that they're saying about his niece, his brother Bo's daughter. I can't even imagine. That family is so disgusting to me.
Not just you, everybody. God, that dude is sleazy. Tell his kid in AR. Where's AR? Is that Arizona? Is that Arkansas?
Arkansas.
No. Yeah?
Arkansas, yeah.
Arkansas.
AR.
Okay. I knew what you meant, though. Okay, I can't say that. People, you want us to get thrown off the air, don't you? You hate us, and you want us to get thrown off the air.
You must have got manure for your brains.
He probably likes that, too. There's little indication of what the comment before was. Yeah, he'd probably like that. That poor little girl. There are some people that you just want to punch in the face. I cannot agree with that more. There are people that just want to drive to their location, punch them in the face, and drive back home.
But I could immediately hear what Karen was getting at, because there are judgments against the Jewish population, to be honest with you, that it's just based around just top of mind type of things, very, very surface things like facial expression.
Well, poker tells are very intricate.
But that goes deeper, and that's why I wanted to clarify. Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate that. I guess I don't personally know any crack whores. You know any crack whores?
No.
All in man says, be cool, honey bunny.
Hi. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. I knew one that would have sold her mother for another bump. Talking about people addicted to cocaine here.
Hunter.
Yeah. A crack whore. Are they broken? I don't understand that. Very broken.
But I think anybody's fixable to some degree. But if you're that, there's such degenerates, like I just keep going back to this because it's on top of mind. That family of the Biden family, they're so broken.
Yeah.
But it goes back to when they're in their childhood. I mean, if you hear some of the stories, you're like, that's lifetime therapy.
So bad. It's so bad. Gays for Palestine is like chickens for KFC.
Right.
They're ridden everywhere. And then you can drop them off anywhere. I forgot what we're talking about here. Like a horse? Good morning, Vic. That wasn't me saying it. That was all in man said like a horse. Good morning, Vic Porcelli, News Talk STL crew, freedom fighters. Whoosh, thank you, Allison, so much.
Hey, it's good to see you.
Where do you, thank you, little grandchild grasser. Where do you drop them off? Anywhere you can. I'm not sure about that. I'm not a horse. These conversations with each other, we should just skip right by because I don't know what they're talking about.
Well, it sounds like they might have been talking about either food or something we were talking
Oh,
about.
our food drive?
Well, maybe. I don't know.
Fantastic.
It could be.
Whoosh, fellow Vic Heads. Would it kill you to hit the like button? Would it kill you?
Yeah. Actually, no.
Yeah, I just did it, and I'm fine. Am I dead?
Nope.
No,
You're right here.
Didn't kill me.
You're not AI, are you?
No.
Okay.
Like at the radio station? Yes. Come by the radio station. We got a barrel right outside. Come on in and say hi to us. Nope. Too far to drive. Oh, excuse us. Cop shop.
I get it.
What do you got?
Too far to drive.
Why do you got it?
If something's too far to drive, I'm not driving. Sorry.
Oh, they're illegal people. I get it now. You guys, I swear to God, I have no idea what you're talking. Well, crack is illegal, so again, no idea. Got it. KJP spoke alphabet soup. Corinne Jean-Pierre.
Right.
Caroline Levitt is awesome. She is. She drops her T's. What does that mean?
She does. That's the only thing is that it might be that age. I don't know, but my daughter does this.
Give me an example.
Okay, Putin. She says Putin. She doesn't say Putin.
Right.
And there was a word that she used in one of the clips that we played. And I'm like, okay, I don't know why she does that. I'll overlook it.
Senator Talent calls him Putin.
Putin, yeah.
Putin.
But she says Putin, and I'm like, Putin. Just say that.
Putin. Vladimir Putin.
There was
I think I'd say it the same way.
I remember there was a meme. It had a tin. Okay. There with a poop emoji on it. It was a Putin.
Yeah. Oh, Putin. I get it. Lots of people these days do that for some reason. Well, I know that the Generation Z, like my daughter, are syllabalists.
They are.
They don't like syllables.
A lot of them.
So they
Together.
can't say, hey, do you want to get some sushi? E is too tiring for them, so it's just get some sush. That was the sitch.
You better watch how you talk when you talk about me.
And cold little bevy, sweet little bevy. What's the difference between a fake news reporting group and Biden's misinformation department? Truth. Agreed. Anger a conservative, lie to them. Anger a libtard, tell them the truth.
That's, you know what? I know that sounds very profound and almost comedic. It's true. Absolutely. It's all true.
The difference between the policies, Biden wanted to use the information to censure. Trump wanted to expose them. Censor. Nils Grevillius is back. Yeah, you bet. Rubber Biscuit is one of my favorite tunes. The band behind the Blues Brothers was fantastic. That's DLW saying that. If I had to pick my favorite song from Briefcase Full of Blues, it might be, I don't know. Let me think about it and put a report on your desk in the morning. Is that okay?
Yeah.
The band behind the Blues Brothers was awesome. Saw Petty at Riverport with the Black Crowes opening. Never got to see either one of those.
Oh, that would have been a great show. We saw, the River sponsored a show of the Black Crowes at
American Theater?
No, smaller. Down in the Loop.
The pageant?
Yeah.
Wow.
I remember that.
Never got to see either one of those. Mary Jane's Last Dance has some awesome riffs in it, weird videos.
It does, yeah.
Petty, LOL. But such a great tune. SNL died when Belushi did, in my humble opinion. When Eddie Murphy left. Gilda Radner was great on SNL. Loved Gilda. You got a little sweat ball hanging from your nose. That's Rosanna Dan.
Yeah.
It's mind-boggling that this is allowed in America. Send Omar back to the country she's loyal to. That's not America. Oh, but
my whole thing about that is that if she did crime, then get her out of here.
Yeah, even without the crime, she likes it better there. Just go. You know what? We got to tell her, Elon Omar, you just won a trip to Mogadishu, Somalia. Wow, I won.
Yeah.
Get on the plane, get out of here, don't come back. On her flight back, throw her from the plane. Well, that's Somalis rhymes with tamales. I think we learned that yesterday. Declare Islam a terrorist group, not a religion. You would do that, wouldn't you, Ken?
In a heartbeat, yeah, because it's not.
Too many rhinos on the take. Mosques are not place of worship. They incite terrorism and hate.
Well, we could do a whole hour with that, Vic, and I'm not going to go into it because I know I always do. But when they build a mosque, they also secure the homes that are around that through monies that they get donated to them.
Yeah,
and they build this foundation, and they're doing it all over the place.
They built the mosque not far from me, and now they're adding 2-story addition. Kind of what you're talking about there, Kenny. And Barry asks, is there a ballroom?
Not like our ballroom.
No, a basketball court, though. Rolla, Missouri has a large mosque trying to build another. Columbia and Springfield, Mo have mosques. I'm sure we have some in St. Louis. I would be shocked.
We have one within 2 miles of my house.
There you go. Praying Nick Schroer gets bill passed banning Sharia law. Infiltration is being allowed under the guise of a religion. By the way, yes, do something about that, Nick. It's a political movement, not a religion. It's been that for over 1,400 years. Dan Bongino promised to expose the pipe bomb cover-up.
Yeah.
It takes a minute to put these things together, especially when the previous administration destroyed evidence. That's fine, but don't tell me that it was an exact DNA match of a Capitol Police woman and then tell me, oh, wait, it's some nut job from Virginia.
Yeah, it wasn't like they came out and said, we found DNA. We're not sure where it came from, but we'll get back to you on that when we find out. Oh, we've just found out it's somebody else.
Oh, we got to fly through this, Ken. Got to get by trolley stop for some cookies. Yes, you do. They need to open up in Jefferson County, or at least in Fenton. George Carlin was so coked up for that first. George Carlin was the very first act on Saturday Night Live. Double Fantasy is a great album. Look up Chuck Berry, John Lennon, Yoko. No thanks. That was from the Mike Douglas show. Not good. Nope, not going to say that.
Shut up.
I was also watching Monday Night Football on the death announced by Howard
Shut
Cosell.
your face.
Dead on arrival. All right, Ken's pushing me around here, so I guess we're done. Right, Ken? You're pushing me around. It's okay.
I would never.
Short-term memory loss, Mr. Porcelli? Yeah. What about it? I got a little short-term. What are we talking about? Hey, thanks for having the record player on at night to listen to us this morning.
Make sure you have the record player on at night.
Jamie Allman's in next with the 3 Martini lunch.
The award-winning.
On 101.9 and 94.1 News Talk STL. See you tomorrow.
Whoosh.
Hey, Jamie Allman here for Santino's. It isn't just a cigar lounge. It's an experience spanning 2 levels of pure sophistication. Handcrafted cocktails, authentic Sicilian cuisine with sauces made from scratch. The state-of-the-art smoke filtration keeps the air pristine, while the separate non-smoking wine room offers a perfect alternative. Members enjoy the lowest rates with premium benefits, including the ultimate climate-controlled humidor. Santino's, just off Highway 55 at the Imperial exit, SantinoCigarCocktails.com.
JC's Wayback Machine.
This week on the way back, we bust open my exclusive collection of Christmas songs.
Ho, 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 ho. Dashing through the snow. Ho, 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 ho.
Also, we talked with the dude himself, actor Jeff Bridges, and lots of great songs from the 90s, 80s, and 70s. All brought to you by the Weber Automotive Group.
It's JC's Wayback Machine. Every Saturday night, 6 to 9. On News Talk STL.
This December 13th, join wreaths across America at Belle Reve Gardens Cemetery as we remember the fallen, honor those who serve, and teach our children the value of freedom. Help us lay remembrance wreaths on the graves of our fallen heroes. Sponsor a wreath, volunteer, or bring your family to this meaningful tribute to our veterans, because every hero deserves to be remembered. Learn more and sponsor a wreath. Visit NewstalkSTL.com.
Located in the heart of St. Charles, Kevin's Guns is your family-owned destination for all things firearms. Whether you're a collector, hunter, or military enthusiast, we have it or can get it for you. From new to used rifles and handguns in every style and caliber, our friendly and knowledgeable staff is here to help educate you and ensure you make the perfect choice for your needs. Buy, sell, or browse our incredible selection at kevinsguns.net or call 636-493-1195. Kevin's Guns, where gun enthusiasts come home.
KLGY HD3 Clayton, K270BW Bellefonte, KNBS Bowling Green. This is News Talk STL at 1019, 94.1, and always streaming at NewstalkSTL.com.
Breaking news at Town Hall. I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. The FBI has made an arrest in its nearly 5-year-old investigation into who placed pipe bombs in Washington on the eve of the January 6, 2021 breach at the U.S. Capitol.
The bombs had been placed near the offices of the Democratic and Republican National Committees in D.C. on the evening of January 5th, 2021, before the Electoral College was to meet the next day when the Capitol breach occurred. The bombs did not detonate. No one was hurt, but the FBI said both devices could have been lethal. The agency has spent 5 years trying to pinpoint a suspect despite hundreds of tips and a review of tens of thousands of video files and a significant number of interviews. George Williams, Washington.
The Navy admiral who reportedly issued orders for a second strike on an alleged